Oh, they'll be awake.
Are you ready?
We're right.
All right, guys. Welcome to tonight's Livewell here at Fish, North Georgia. We want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, if you're watching at a later date, hey, we appreciate you guys too. Want to take a second to shout out our sponsors as we get started with tonight's show. Opson Fluorocarbon Leader. Guys, hey, they're getting ready to make this big push into this market down here. You guys on Lake Lanier, all these highland reservoirs, you know how important a good quality clear fluorocarbon is. You got to check them out. If you go to OpsonUSA.com and type in FNG, you get 20% off. And they're getting ready to have, I think they're going to be releasing, if it's not this week, it might be next week. They're like 8, 10, all the sizes that we use around here. So definitely check out Opson if you want a absolute premier fluorocarbon. They're going to make a big splash in here. I definitely know they're going to be coming on my reels. We've actually got some. I have some of the guys I gave last week some samples. Kevin's one of them to test out, and we're going to report back to you. Also, Charlie Adams with Adams Renovation. Everything except spiral staircases. Give him a call at 470-505-3412 for all your remodel needs. And you might see Big Ryan there on the job site if you hire him right there. So next we got Trent Palmer. Or no, I messed that up. Yeah, let's go Trent Palmer right there with Sonar Pros. Guys, the absolute best. I'm just telling you right now, the best installation of your sonar graphs, I'm going to say in the nation, definitely in the state of Georgia. Hey, if the pros are taking their boats to them, you should too. So check Trent out. Give them a call, 770-530-4505 by appointment only. So you definitely want to check them out. Next, we got Festive Water Paddle Sports. Listen, right off 369. Check them out at festivewater.com. If you're into the kayak game, whether it be for joy, for fishing, paddle boards, I don't do that. But, hey, if you're into that, they got it all, and they're right by Lake Lanier. So check the guys out there. If you're in Jasper and you need some tires, definitely go see Brock Turner and the guys at Turner Tire. I'm going to move for just a second so you can get their phone number. Right there, 706-253-3339. Hey, guys, this is a good family-run business, and they will always, always treat you right. And Brock's a fisherman just like us, so go check them out. And finally, tonight, of course, Etowah Mead Beer and Wine. Tonight, we're going to be trying out their Psycho Blonde Ale, and I can tell you right now, very tasty. The cool thing is, you see all this selection right here in front of me. They do beer and mead. And the cool thing about mead is, if you're watching this and you don't live near Dahlonega, Georgia, you can go online there and they will actually ship it to you. So that's a pretty cool thing. I don't know why the law is the way it is, but hey, you can get mead in the mail. So with that, we're going to get going. Also, too, check us out on all our social media. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You don't really realize how much that helps. And, of course, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, our group page. We even got a Twitter for you guys that do the X thing. Is it Twitter or X now? How do we have to call that now? Is it X?
I guess it's X.
Is it X?
I got an account, but I don't ever get on it.
Okay.
I don't use mine either.
Yeah.
You don't use yours either. All right. So tonight, guys, here's what we're going to be talking about. First of all, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from all of us here at Fish North Georgia to you guys. Christmas is this week, or is it Monday? It's this Monday. It's Monday. So it's this weekend. So you guys get out and fish, have a good time, be safe, and make sure you enjoy the holidays with your family. And there you go. You guys right there in the comments section. Merry Christmas to all of you guys. What's up, Michael Temples, Doug Phillips, Ronald Pendergrass, Jeremiah was first night, Luke Turner, all you guys. So, and if again, I don't know, do we still have, if you're watching on Facebook, do you still have to do the StreamYard thing, Ryan? Or is that just with the group page?
Yeah, that's with you still got to do it regardless.
It must be cold in the shop. Danny's got those overalls on. That's right. I tell you what.
That didn't take long.
Listen, the shrinkage is real, boys. It's real. It is cold down here. I got Kevin don't have that problem, so you know. But anyway, there you go. Anyway, so here's what we're gonna talk about tonight. I got a couple of my buddies up here with me and Ryan. Ryan's back there behind there. Say hey, Ryan, everybody. Let me see your smiling face. Look at that.
I'm back.
Right there. He's back. So Ryan's back, and I got James Collins right here beside me, and local angler. That's right, and good dude. And we got the most beautiful man on the entire internet right here, Kevin Thornton.
Hey, drum roll.
Here we go.
Got the best face for radio now.
There he is. Mr. Publix Chicken himself. He is spoiling us what is this, 3 Thursday nights in a row?
3 Thursday nights.
He's brought us chicken before the show. My Lord, I'm telling you guys, hey, listen, and it does help Kevin. Go out and buy yourself some Publix chicken. Your retirement.
Helps my retirement.
Helps your retirement. So you fish quite a few different lakes
Allatoona, West Point, Sinclair, Oconee.
Yeah, so some of these lakes that we don't normally talk about, so it will attract maybe a couple extra sponsors. We got a gallery of guys out here. Everybody say hey, so they actually don't think I'm lying. Howdy. So we got the guys, Farmer Johns and all that. So anyway, Chris Stubbs Angling, how you doing? Tracy Coker, all you guys. Hey, listen, there he is, fishing with Farmer. The reason I got overalls is because Stephen Bardet came up to the shop the other day, and I was inspired to wear my overalls. So anybody knows Stephen Bardet? Funny thing is, he did not have his overalls on, but first time I've seen him without overalls. But he did not bring his better half, which was disappointing. But I told him, go home and tell her, hey, because she's actually the better half of that couple right there. So anyway, tonight's topic. All right, if you look across social media right now, especially here in the South, and you check out some of the local guides and what they're saying and anglers, all you hear is ditch, 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 ditch fishing, ditch fishing, ditch fishing. Yes, it is something that's going on right now. Yes, you can catch fish in the ditches. There's no doubt about it. However, I had someone ask me, goes, well, how do you catch fish outside of the ditches this time of year? And so that is the topic that we're going to start with tonight. Catching fish outside of the ditches. For those that don't like to sit there and vertically fish or throw vertically is one thing, because that's the timber guys, but they're throwing, say spot chokers or any of those baits and just dragging it down the middle of the ditches. There are other ways to catch bass, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And Ryan, I'm actually going to let you start because we were talking upstairs. I know I'm throwing you to the fire real quick, but you had, we mentioned ditches up there, and you said you saw what I was going to talk about tonight, and it resonated with you that quick. So tell me a little bit about that and get the conversation started.
Well, how do I put this lightly?
Put it.
Say it. Let's go.
He doesn't do anything lightly.
No.
If you're fishing ditches on Lake Lanier right now, you're going to catch majority of the time. You're not going to catch tournament winning fish right now.
Yeah, small. That's what you were saying. There's small fish.
Yeah. It's the water temperature's too hot. It's too hot. And we had our classic this past weekend for our club, and I was on the water 5 straight days. And I'm definitely not the best fisherman by no means, but all the fish that I caught deeper than 20 feet, they weren't going to do you any good.
Yeah, you were saying like 2.5 pounders.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. And before, I'm gonna say a disclaimer before anybody goes in here and jumps down my throat. Yes, there are going to be some areas where you got a nice place where they're back there in the back shallow right now. There's some big ones back there, and then they move out deeper into the timber as the day moves on. Yes, there are areas where that is, but it is not right now. It is not like your typical what happens this time of year generally, where if you want to win and you want to catch big spotted bass, you pretty much need to be in 25 feet or deeper. That's where you need to be focusing. And that is not the case right now. That is not the case. Self-evident from our classic this past weekend.
Why do you think that is?
Water temperature is too hot. It's too hot. And I'm going to say the comment that I come up with after spending 5 straight days on the lake. Fish from one end to the other, up both river arms. And we have a substantial population of spotted bass right now that are 7, 8 years old, that are big fish. They ain't never seen the damn lake this low.
That's true, because it's been a while.
The lake this low.
It's been a while.
And are they kind of throwing a curveball right now? I mean, to be frank with it, I'll just be frank with it. My classic, all top 5 teams that finished in the top 5, after any of it all said and done, all of us that finished in the top 5 over 2 days of fishing, we all caught the majority of our bigger fish were all shallow from one end of the lake to the other.
Really?
Yeah. That was where the majority. We had 2 19-pound bags. We had 2 18-pound bags. Had several 16s, and that was where all those fish. And Friday was tough fishing because Friday was high bluebird sky days. Love it. Dead east wind.
Mhm.
Dead out of the east.
Right.
It was wonderful. It was fantastic. And we still caught them. But it's kind of a lot of a consensus between a lot of the guys after the tournament was over. Of course, we're not going to talk during the tournament because, you know, we're all competing against each other.
That's right.
But after everything was all said and done, money was handed out. Trophies were handed out. There was the guys that were in the top 5 or 6 pretty much all said the same thing. Yeah, the bigger fish that I caught, I mean, I caught a lot of fish out deep, but the bigger fish, the bigger coals were in 15 feet of water or less.
Really?
And that's from one end of the lake to the other.
Now, was the crankbait doing the damage for most of the guys, you reckon?
Most of us was the crankbait, the rock crawler.
It is rock crawler time of year.
As a rock crawler. Yep.
But
not going to go no crazy specifics about it.
Right.
You can subscribe to the YouTube membership channel and you'll find out exactly what I was throwing.
There you go. Yeah, I love the pics right there.
My weight went up from Thursday when I started fishing Wednesday afternoon when we left work. I went straight home, hooked up the boat. I went straight to the lake. I stayed till dark. And then I fished all day Thursday till about 1 o'clock. And then I quit because I had something I had to go take care of. And then Friday, Saturday, I fished all day long. And then Sunday, went back out there again. And Sunday, I busted the biggest bag that I've busted in a long time. I caught 7 fish all day long. 7. That's all I caught.
But
19, 20 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a good sack.
That's a good sack. Pull up Tracy Coker's
biggest
comment.
bag I've had in forever.
Yeah, pull up Tracy Coker's comment. And one of the things I want to do, because like James fishes Lanier a lot, and Kevin, you've got experience on this other lake. So I kind of want to, you know, as we talk about how to catch these fish, I want to know if when I get to you, if the ditch bite is similar on those lakes that you've experienced, or is it different because they're more largemouth lakes, and how you guys approach it during the wintertime. But Tracy Coker says, we tried the ditch bite Friday, but it didn't pan out at all for us. Fished shallower Saturday and did much better. So you guys have heard this, and you guys in the comment section, you know, you're always free to throw your thoughts right there. James, you fish Lanier a lot. Do you think that the water being down so much this year has anything to do with that, or, you know, what's your theory on that?
Well, I was actually going to ask Ryan. You had mentioned. Okay, yeah, we'll go. No, one question. I can ask you a question. You had mentioned a couple times the water temps are still too hot. What are you seeing on yours?
I'm seeing anywhere from 53 to 55 nearly still, and that's per Garmin.
And that needs to be
so. If you run Lowrance units, you're going to see even warmer because Lowrance units seem to typically run just a little bit warmer than Garmin's. Humminbirds and Garmin's kind of read similar. Lowrance typically, most everyone that I know that run both or run exclusively one or the other, they all say Lowrance. I know one of my best fishing buddies that I got share a lot of information, taught me a lot about fishing. He's got a 1-year-old Lowrance 8 carbon on the front, and he was seeing 57 in the afternoon.
Golly.
And that's his Lowrance. So, I mean, you know, you can take it for a grain of salt. Might as well just say that the water temperature is in the mid to low 50s, regardless where you go.
All right, but did you hear that? Did you hear that question, though, that he had?
It need to be closer to like what?
What are you looking for? What temperature 40s? Are you looking for?
Typically in my, and I don't write the book on this, but typically when I find them good in the ditches, we typically see water temperatures in the upper 40s.
Okay.
You know, low 51.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
They'll load up real good when it's like 40, 47.
Yeah.
You know, right. I remember we caught them one year. We caught a crap ton of them out of one place for a month straight, the entire month of January.
Yeah.
And we just ran straight to it, caught us about 12, 13 pounds out of it, but it was just automatic. It was easy. So
pull up Michael Temple's comment. That's a good question right there. Own up a little bit. And then I'm going to ask you a question there, Mr. Kevin. But what do these shallow fish do when the lake is down this much? All the trees and rocks they're out on the bank or out of the water. I mean, this is not the typical norm for Lake Lanier. So what do you think, Ryan? And any of you guys can answer that. Kevin, you can jump in.
We're still going to look at rock.
They're still going to try to find rock.
Yeah. Rock.
They're going to move out. Points, secondary.
But the rock is what they're hunting. That's what they're going to.
Well, that's about the only cover there is unless you go to the timber.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think the shallow fish, that's what they're going to. Well, of course, I mean, a rock that's normally in 15, 20 foot of water is now in what, 7 foot? How far down's the lake right now?
It's about what, eight
Like
foot?
8 somewhere around
Okay,
there.
so
About 8
yeah.
foot down.
So I mean that makes sense. They're going to find the first cover they can come to on lakes like, and I'm going to get to all you guys' comments there in a second. I want to ask Kevin this since he has experience on Oconee and lakes like West Point and all that. How much different are those lakes in the winter than like Lanier?
I haven't been on Lanier in probably 10, 12 years, but they're not as deep, first of all.
Right.
And we go up into the creeks most of the time. We're fishing secondary points at this time of the year, moving on out to the main lake points. Still looking for rock, any type of cover. You don't see as many brush piles in West Point as you used to. Oconee and Sinclair are still pretty loaded with them, but we're fishing the point, secondary points. I haven't had much success in the back of the creeks, very back.
Like ditch fishing like we do up here.
I don't ditch fish. I don't.
And now that's where my question's going to go. Is it because of the different, bait species you got up there? You guys don't have bluebacks. What does West Point have them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so West Point has them, but like Oconee and Sinclair?
No, I've not seen any bluebacks in Oconee. Sinclair, I've heard there are some bluebacks in there. And then, of course, we know Allatoona has them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you fish Allatoona a good bit. Or
I
you
do.
Yeah. So that's something now that the bluebacks are in Allatoona. There is a ditch bite because me and Ryan tried to do a little bit of it, but I would imagine that should be firing up here over the next few
Bait
years.
is everywhere on Allatoona right now. And we were talking earlier upstairs, when you find all that bait, when there's too much of it, you're not going to get a good bite.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I've seen Ryan pull into something and say, too much bait. And I'm like, I thought we was looking for bait. Too
Just
much
kidding, gotta
bait. Certain ditches last Friday were on fire for me and still played on Saturday. Wes Wilson, glad you're here, buddy. Dane, I'm not gonna make fun of you, but they did have 18 pounds on Friday and zeroed on Saturday. There you go. So I got that out of the way. Hey, it happens. It just happens sometimes. But James, you fish. Where's the club you fish in?
It's Lost Mountain Bassmasters.
Okay, and how many different lakes do you guys fish?
Oh, it's a different lake every month. So we do a lot of the Alabama stuff. Like January, we're going to be on Logan Martin.
Okay,
But we do Logan Martin, Weiss, Neely Henry. We'll do Wadawi.
good Lord, do y'all fish any in Georgia? Hell, I didn't know your whole trail was in Alabama.
We do, yeah. So we try to fish Lanier at least once a year. We try to fish Allatoona at least once a year. But most of the club actually lives on that side of town.
Okay,
So
easy for them.
It's easier for them, and I kind of knew what I was getting into.
What's
when I
your
signed up
what's
for
your
it.
next lake?
Logan Martin,
And it's when?
January.
But it's in January.
Yeah, it's
so,
in January.
So how does Logan Martin play out compared to like Lanier?
So you guys know I still consider myself fairly new to this whole game. I've only even been tournament fishing for 3 years.
You're supposed to say you've been doing it your entire life, man.
Well, I have been fishing my entire life. That's no lie.
I got you. I got you.
But
What's up, Nathan?
Crickets and bobbers are a whole different ballgame.
That's right,
from
buddy.
what we're
Hey,
doing now.
that's my speed right there.
Hey, ain't nothing
Nothing wrong
against
with that.
that. I kind of miss that sometimes. But Logan Martin, I've only been on it a couple of times, so I don't really have that much experience on it. But it is a lot more of a river channel or a river system than like Lanier is.
Right.
It is a river system.
Mhm.
So you've got a lot more current to deal with. You've got a lot more just different aspects of it.
Right.
It's totally different than Lanier.
Okay. I got a question, and Ryan, I'll start this off with you. Just a wise man said something to me the other day about this ditch fishing. And you're talking about the majority of the smaller fish in the are being caught in the ditches right now. Yes, pretty much. That's kind of what you're saying.
Unless you find
the right one.
area, a
Yeah.
magic ditch.
Right.
Yes.
But if we're painting with the broadest of strokes, pretty much now, if you're fishing in the ditches, you're going to catch the smaller, non-tournament winning fish. If we put it that way, is that safe to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the majority of it.
Now, let me ask you this. What the fish in the ditches, what are they keying in on? And the reason I say that is because I had a guy tell me he thought it was more threadfin shad than it is bluebacks right now.
Mm-mm.
Did I say it wrong?
Well, I don't know what your guy said, but
He said that's what he said. He said you're catching the smaller fish because they're in there with the threadfin shad. The bluebacks haven't gone to the ditches yet because bluebacks kind of like they're still up. I don't know that to be true. That's why I'm throwing that out there. Does that sound like something that you might have heard, Ryan?
And I seen.
that you've seen. So what are you seeing? What is the bait predominantly right now in the ditches?
Most of the bait that I've seen in the past week has been threadfin. I have seen a few areas where there's little bitty herring,
But it's small.
You got to know the difference between thread. Golly, you got to know the difference between what threadfin and a blueback herring look like. I have seen some little bitty 2-3 inch long herring, but I've also seen some gobs of 3 inch long threadfin and smaller threadfin in a lot of places. I got 2 that I checked before the Classic. That's always been good to me to go into and make 10 minutes first thing in the morning this time of year, and bam, there's a limit.
Right.
Sometimes it might be 12 pounds, sometimes it might be 16, 17 pounds. It just, it just depends, that's year to year. But they always go in there.
Yeah.
And they're in there. But there's no big fish. There's not any big fish doing that thing.
Is that because of the bait?
Well, to put it to you lightly, what I figured out last week over the weekend was, and I'm gonna put this blunt,
Be blunt,
as possible.
Be blunt.
If you pull into an area, whether I don't give a damn if it's 2D side scan, forward facing sonar, I don't care. If you look and you say, and the first thing that pops in your mind is, damn, that's a lot of bait. Don't even fish.
Yeah, that's what Kevin
You're
said.
not gonna catch anything.
Too much competition.
But the areas that I found over the last week, when you found, oh look, there's a little bitty ball over here, and oh, there's another little bitty ball over here. Them fish that eat anything. The problem was they were this big.
Right.
There
Small.
were a ton of them. They were that big. You can see them if you've got your forward facing sonar tuned in like as good as I've got mine, which I know a bunch of people do. You can see them on the bottom running along the edges of the timber.
Right.
And you can see them going down there, and they are tiny. They're small fish, and you can just look at them if you know anything about forward facing sonar and can judge how big fish are. You're like, those are small fish. Those are not. If I catch 5 of those and bring 5 of those away, and I'm gonna have 11, 12 pounds.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
Well, let's establish this because it goes to Michael Temple's question right there. And all of you guys, I want all of your opinions. And Kevin, I'm going to start with you. Well, you don't ditch fish. No. So you're going to, okay. So you're going to come in great when we talk about how not to fish ditches or other stuff. James and Ryan, y'all can comment on this. What are you fishing in the ditches right now? How are you fishing it? Worms, jigs, spoons? He wants to know.
Well, it's versatile. You can do a lot of different things with it. One of the most common ones and most popular ones that I like too, just get you a tungsten head with a swim bait on it. Some guys use a fluke. You can even use one of the spot chokers and just drag so slow. Like I think I heard Ryan call it one day. What you're doing is you're counting rocks with the reel turns. You're just going so slow.
You got to have contact with the bottom.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want the underspin, sometimes they don't want the blade. It just kind of varies. I don't see why you couldn't do it with a jig or a shaky head too. It's just real slow. It's just moving slow.
Ryan, when you start commenting on this, Ryan, I got a question too. If we're keeping contact with the bottom, why are some guys using an underspin? How does that blade affect it when you're just dragging it across the bottom?
It's a different noise.
You think it's the noise?
Yeah.
So it's not the visual effect of the spoon, it's the noise that it's putting off.
Correct.
Okay. I had a guy ask me that. That's a good answer. Ryan, how would you fish a ditch right now? Because I want to get to how we're fishing these other things, but if you're fishing a ditch, what are you concentrating on?
You can pretty much go in there with like 5 different things right now and catch fish at will. I seen up there a minute ago, Wes Wilson, he found a pretty good one that had some big largemouth in the back.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're going to find like I said earlier, I am not sitting here saying there's not big fish in ditches. It is not like what it is normally, where you will find, 5, 6, 7 places during a day when you go where it's like there's big ones everywhere. You can crucify me and stab me on the wall.
Ain't nobody crucifying nobody.
You can treat me like Caesar if you want to for a minute, but
like Caesar.
My opinion right now, it's unless you
at Two Brew Creek.
Unless you pull a Wes Wilson there and there's some big largemouth in the back of one, or there's some big spots in the back of one, then yeah, you'll load the boat and you'll be like, all right, dumbass, he don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, go repeat it. Yeah, go show me about 7 more like it's supposed to be this.
Because it's just not normal.
Go show me 7 more
Uh-huh.
that have the same size fish that are laying in them every single place you go.
Right.
And unless you just live on the lake 5-6 days a week, you're going to, of course people like that they're going, oh well, yeah, I know, yeah, because you've burned a lot of time looking for them, and you know this one.
Right.
But for the average guy like myself and like the rest of us, I would say that's in this room right now, because we've pretty loaded up tonight with a lot of people.
We
We're
are.
the average common
good
working
looking
man.
crew.
And we don't have time to go hunt 90 ditches and say, yeah, these 7 have fish in them. They're big.
Right.
You know that right now, it is December 101 right now. You basically got, if you want to get the good bite, you got an hour and a half. And then after that, you're going to be vertical. You're going to be doing something vertical. You're going to be throwing a worm or a jig around timberline edge. You're going to be fishing pretty slow. That fast, furious where you're either scoping or you're just not even, if you don't have a scope, you're just throwing an underspin or a tungsten head or whatever, the Prodigy, whatever it may be. You're throwing that out there, whether it be back there in 10 feet of water or out there in 35 feet of water. It don't matter. Wherever the fish are at the time. That fast, furious morning bite is over, after, especially if we get a day where the sun comes up. And
the sun drives them deep.
The
sun drives them back down deep.
They seem to just leave and they seem to go out there and go hang out in that timber area.
I got you. Okay.
We picked it back up and tried to do a little bit of it on Friday about midday.
Right.
And we left our bite for about 30 minutes and I said, nah, screw this. I'm going back to what we were doing. And, there was a couple places that we fished and we caught a couple fish on a spot choker. And they were, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a professional, but I've got places on Lake Lanier where generally they load up with some big fish.
Right.
Big fish this time of year.
Yeah.
And for me, they're just not there.
They're not there.
There's fish there. Always fish there. There's fish there right now. But I haven't seen what I wanted to see yet. What I want to see when I'm ditch fishing is I want to pull into a ditch first thing in the morning, and I want me and my partner to make 5 or 6 casts, and them's biggins.
Right.
Them's big fish.
Right.
I personally, on my end, I'm not seeing that.
Okay.
And all the fish that are, like I said, from this past weekend, from the guys after the tournament was over, that we was all talking, a lot of our fish were shallow. A lot of the bigger, big fish were shallow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Now, guys, again, here in about 30 minutes, we're going to have the question of the night. All right. The question of the week, question night, whatever you want to say. And Opson's going to give the winner $50 off any product on their website. So think Bassmaster Magazine. That's going to be coming up in 30 minutes. Kevin, I want to throw to you because I saw a comment. It's done flew on up there, guys. And listen, if you put a comment down and we don't acknowledge it, it's just there's so many of them. Put it again. If you have a good question, put it again. But somebody, I'm not trying to jump in front of you again. I know a lot of people got a lot of respect for him. Harold
fishes in my club.
Yeah,
Harold had like barely 12 pounds Friday.
And he's a hell of an angler.
He's a hell of an angler.
Yes.
Him and Mikey, they're a real good team together. Harold goes, we caught the crap out of him today in ditches.
But
Harold, they laid him on scale. They had just over 12 pounds.
Couldn't get size. So that
Saturday, they fished, like a bunch of us that were catching bigger fish during the tournament. They fished shallower, and he came back that afternoon. He had 15.
Yeah, so it kind of goes to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. There was a question, and Kevin, this is kind of going to be for you, that said, is Allatoona starting to fish like Lake Lanier?
I think it's going to become a Lake Lanier on a smaller scale, yeah.
Just a smaller scale.
Yeah, because the blueback herring and the lake, both lakes are down, so it's fish are being corralled.
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be a couple more years, but they'll have some big spots, and there's already some big spots in Allatoona.
There it is.
The waves are coming up for sure.
Oh yeah, they're coming up. So
we got a question for Pro XS guy, by the way.
Who? Oh, is
Connor,
that you?
wearing the
That's
hat.
what
Oh, good. Look, pull it up.
Connor here wants to know, James, since you've mentioned Wodowie. He says, I have a question for Pro XS guy.
His
How's
name
he-
is James.
How is he fishing Wodowie in the winter?
How are you fishing with Dowie in the winter? Do you fish with Dowie in the winter?
Yeah, we fish it down.
Okay, so how do you fish it?
So it's kind of slow and methodical, like jigs and shaky heads for the most part. Targeting like good chunk rock where we can find it on like bluff walls and whatnot.
Right.
It's out there. You can fish with that way almost however you want to, but that's what I found the most success.
Is it predominantly spots or largemouth?
It's got a good mix of both. Now, Wodowie's got a weird slot limit.
What is the slot limit?
So basically, if you get a largemouth, it has to be over 12 inches, but it cannot touch 13 inches. So it's got to be either between 12 and 13, or it has to be larger than, I think it's 15 inches. So that 13 to 15 slot is protected on Wodowie. You cannot.
Why not just say 13 to 15 and not let you catch 12-inch fish?
You know, I didn't.
That makes zero sense to me.
I
though.
think it's a little ridiculous.
That is a weird slot limit.
But yeah, so if you're fishing Wodowie, keep that in mind. Look it up to be exact. I'm 99% sure it's 13 to 15 inches. You cannot keep or bring to weigh in. It's just not a legal fish. Yeah,
that's weird.
It is.
So, but if you catch one 12 and 3/4, it's good to go.
Good to go.
That makes sense.
12 and 7/8 is fine.
But it can't be 11 and 7/8.
Cannot be.
So you got 1 inch.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
And then you got to go from 13 or from 15 up. I just say that for you, McGuire, because I know I can make you laugh back there.
Always gets a giggle.
I get a giggle out of him every
short
time.
answer to your question, in my experience, and remember, I'm fairly new to this still. I'm learning every time I go out.
But that's the game, man.
Good chunk rock, bluff walls, jig, shaky head. That'll get you done.
Okay. All right. So they go Youngins Outdoors. Hey, good to see you guys tonight. Fin clips. Absolutely. For guys that don't know about fin clips, definitely that is something every boat should have in there if you are if you use them. I prefer using fin clips over fizzing if I can get away with it. But
sometimes you got to do
sometimes you got to, and sometimes you got to do a little bit of both.
Fizzing. So fizzing is. I've never actually done it. I know.
Oh, I have.
I know the theory behind it.
Yeah.
I can point to you on the fish on where it's supposed to go. I've never actually had to do it. But if you get one that floats, you better consider it.
Do you fizz?
I have not fizzed.
That's
I've
a
got
trick
anything to do
question.
with it.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, you
But
do
I
it
have
though.
the weighted fins.
Now, I go through the mouth. Ryan, do you go through the side?
I go to the side.
You go through the side. I'm one that goes through the mouth. I've never been confident going through the side.
When I have to do it, it will go through the side.
Yeah, I go
I'm
through.
sure
I
I'm
go
eventually
through
going
the
to
mouth.
have to do it.
But
I'll say this. For me, I'll do the side. But for me, with a spot, my thumb, I got big old hands. You see them. For me, if I lay the fin down and I put my thumb down there beside it and barely touch the back of the fin, I know exactly where I need to go. Some people don't have that luxury. Some people's thumbs are a little bit like, for me, like I've figured out that's if I do that right there and go right in about a 1/4 inch over and go in, I'll hit it. I'll hit the bladder on spot.
Yeah.
So
I just started the conference. Pull up Consecrated Tech right there. He is new here, and first of all, I want to say hello and thank you for watching us tonight. I enjoy seeing new names in the comment section. But let's go ahead. I'm going to start off with Kevin. I'm going to let you answer that, James, and then we'll go to Ryan. Colder, overcast day. What is your go-to lure?
Jig.
Jig, straight up jig.
Straight up jig for me.
Straight up jig. Now, does color matter?
Black, blue.
Black and blue jig. Now, of course, does that have anything to do with the stained water down there in Oconee and all that you fish?
I just fish a black, blue probably 80% of the time.
You know, a lot of people do, and that's a jig color on Lanier that I know some guys throw a lot.
I don't ever throw a brown, black. I'll throw a green pumpkin the other 20% of the time, but it's going to have probably a blue trailer on it.
Black and blue. There you go. There's your tip. All right, James, what about you? Right now, cold, overcast day.
Any wind?
All right, let's say that. Give me one with wind, one without.
So I'm going to agree with the jig first off. It's hard to beat. With a little wind, depending on, I guess, the time of the day, I still like a spinnerbait. I will still throw a spinnerbait. If you got a little wind on it, just try to find some of that same chunk rock we've been talking about, some points, things like that. and I've had a lot of success on the man sitting back over there, that True Grit spinnerbait.
It's a good looking spinnerbait.
Man, it's sexy.
It
man.
is. It is.
It's caught me
I
a
gotta
lot
learn how
of
to
fish.
make them. I gotta learn how to make them. All right, Ryan, what about you?
Jerkbait,
Jerkbait.
pretty much. Jerkbait or swim bait. Pretty much don't do much else.
Okay. All right.
Stay
Well,
moving.
there you go.
Overcast day. Fish still going to be wanting to there's still going to be a good population of fish wanting to feed. So I'm going to try to get a reaction bite. That's what I'm going to look for.
So you go with a jerkbait over a crankbait?
Yeah, primarily over on a colder overcast day like that.
So, okay. So you're getting a reaction bite. You're looking kind of with a spinnerbait, kind of a reaction bite a little bit.
Yeah.
And you're slowing down with the jig.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one could notice that that's different than the other two answers. So is that a confidence thing, or is that just something you have found?
Confidence.
You have confidence in the jig.
Plus, it's a bigger fish bite.
Okay. All right.
Can be.
That makes sense. Which leads me into the next question right there that somebody had right up there. Go down below. Back down. We'll get to that question. But there was one about big fish. Where do they hang out? I saw it somewhere. Okay, right there from Clint Bartlett Fishing right there. Where do you guys think the rogue giants hang out in the winter? Super, super deep? Or do you think they hang out shallower? Now, we're talking about a rogue giant. So this is a bass that's one or two bass off by themselves.
That probably depends on the lake.
Well, let's say, okay, well, Lanier's the one that stirs the boat. You give me you answer it on Allatoona. You answer for Lanier or any of the lakes you guys fish.
Okay. I ain't found it on here.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
No, a lot of guys look at the deep timber. They'll go down there and try to find them in the deep timber. And I haven't had any success doing that yet, but that doesn't mean they're not there.
Right. All right.
I would go with the deeper points. They still got to feed. They're still going to move up and feed even on a cold day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What is that beeping? Y'all hear that beeping noise?
Somebody got text.
Somebody's cell phone.
that's my watch.
That's your watch? Is that what his stuff? I thought it was from upstairs. Okay, that's cool. I thought we might be burning the house down or
No, it's
something.
my watch.
All right, you guys in the comment section, in the gallery over there. Well, Tim, where you think they go? Just talk loud.
The big ones?
Big ones,
I think they stay not super shallow, but 12, 15 feet.
12, 15 feet. Okay.
I think they stay as far away from my hook as possible.
Stay away as far as from his
That's what
hook
I'm
as
saying.
possible. That goes.
Yeah.
What about you, Ken?
They bite, just where they are.
Yeah, where they
I
are.
wish I knew where they were.
What about you, Ken?
They'll be shallow in the morning, but they'll go down 15, 20.
15, 20? Okay. Hey,
I like the 15 number.
15 number. All right, Ryan. Your turn to answer.
They're
We
gonna
just need to get like 25 mics.
They're going to roam.
They're going to roam.
They're going to roam.
So that was what I was going to say, because I've heard guys
Keep guessing.
like Franco with cast
Mhm.
and all them, like he'll be scanning something and there's always that one fish off to the side somewhere. Might be over 80 foot of water, whatever. And that fish is out there just kind of by himself, and they'll target that fish. But that's deep, and that's where the forward facing sonar comes in there, because you wouldn't
Yeah.
know that fish was there
Mm-mm.
any other thing like that. So
I had a good question.
Jeremiah had a good question.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremiah, let's see what your question is. What I want to know from you guys looking is, are the fish sticking to particular areas or still moving around? I think the dropping water has made them act weird. And Ryan, that goes kind of a little bit to what you were saying earlier, in that this is not a normal year as far as what you've been seeing. The fish aren't exactly where you think they should be, and you think it's the water temp. Correct?
I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, the water level and the temp?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the water level and the temperature's got a lot to do with it right now. But again, I'm gonna stick to my guns, and I'm gonna say we have a population of fish on this lake that I've never seen this lake this low.
When was the last time Lanier was this low? It's not like Allatoona. It happens every year.
No.
Mm-mm.
Well, 2012,
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
11, 12.
11, 12, 2011, 2012. Okay, so you're right. So, I mean, that's 11, 12 years right in there. So, yeah, absolutely.
Probably the majority of
the
the fish in
majority of the
lake.
fish have
Yeah.
not been experiencing this. So, Wyatt Martin, the biggest largemouth in Lanier live under marinas. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that a bit. They live. I'm like you. Everywhere where my hook ain't. Everywhere where unless you're throwing a little Ned head and with Ryan in the back of a pocket one day. Every once in a while, them big things will show up. All right. So let me ask you,
junior.
huh?
110 junior.
110
John.
junior. What is that question you're answering right
That's what I
there?
was jerking.
He asked me if it was a 110 or a 110 junior. I'm a 110 junior.
All right. Well, let me ask you this on that jerk bait, cloudy day, color selection,
No. French pearl.
sunny day.
I like that stain reaction pretty good
Okay.
from the mega bass.
All right, James, you said throwing a spinner bait.
Mhm.
Cloudy day.
Cloudy day needs to have more white,
Okay.
or at least white blades. I still like a little bit of that purple and silver skirt material.
Right.
Kitex got a real good color. I think is it the thread fin color? I think they use. It actually has a little bit of purple in it that matches that really well. But on a cloudy day, just put white blades on it. If it's a sunny day, put chrome blades on it.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. MB Gizzard, John B says. So I guess that has to do with the color of the jerk bait.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Okay. So we still spend a lot of time, even though the topic tonight is supposed to be catching fish out of ditches. Hell, we've talked nothing about but ditches so far. I mean, that's just how many we.
Get out of
Well,
the ditch.
let's get out of the ditch.
Even ditches have shorelines. So
But like Ryan said in the video he did for us, the term ditch, there really is no such thing as a true definition of a ditch. Correct, Ryan? It can be, it's a general term.
It is a term that was made up to confuse people like everyone sitting in this room. That you're looking for something.
And it worked.
Well, hell, I wake up in the morning confused. I'm like,
very specific.
okay.
And the reality of the situation is, like I said in my video on YouTube, like I said, it's called ditch fishing. The reality of what it should be called is creek channel timber fishing.
Is it not a highway?
Yeah,
Highway's a good way. No, that's a good way to say
all
it.
it is.
Yeah.
pretty much in and out.
So do you down there on Oconee? And I wish we'd have more people talk about these lakes. It's kind of like Allatoona. I can't get nobody talk about Allatoona, so I'm glad you're here tonight. But Oconee, Allatoona, all that wintertime.
Ian does have a good question from out of ditches. So go ahead, keep going.
Okay, we'll do that. So, pull up Ian Freeman real quick. When something catches my eye, I got to pull up. First live from North Carolina. Do y'all think it can get too cold for that crawfish cranking bite for spots?
No.
Never, ever, ever, never.
You throw it.
They could be ice on
Listen,
there,
Ian,
and I
you're
would
not
throw a rock
listening,
crawler
and you're
right
not
across the top of
You're
it.
not going to get as many bites, but when you do get a bite,
It's big.
it's going to be a good one.
It's big.
No doubt. You're not going to get as many bites. You're going to go maybe a couple hours without a bite. But then 2 hours later, you're going to hang one. And it's going to knock 4 foot slack in your line. You're going to be like, oh my God, what do I got?
5x3.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, look at Scott Barnes right here. Look at that.
Barnes' wife let him come out to play tonight.
Spilling some beans. Here we go.
All right, pull up Barnes real quick. We'll get back up to them questions. That 10-pounder I caught in 2019, and that's a world famous 10-pounder
Yes, sir.
because the mayor caught it. It is. I've seen pictures of it. In 2 Mile at the S-turn, that is a 50-foot channel, but the fish was on the rock in about 10 foot of water. 2 weeks earlier, I caught a 7-pounder on a Flex-It spoon, same area in 50 foot of water. Haven't caught any other good ones in that area since then. I think luck needs to be on your side, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it is. That goes with deer hunting and anything like that. Fishing, deer hunting, you can have all the best plans in the world, but if that animal don't cooperate with you,
That's fact.
it is.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how many times I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this deer. I got him on camera. He's been there every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I stand out there, never shows.
He go.
Never shows. He gone. So
He go.
Oconee and all that. What I was getting at, do you ever hear the term ditch fishing at all down there? Anything like that?
I don't, because I don't ditch fish.
I know, but,
So, but the guys I hang with don't ditch fish either.
Yeah.
right. What do they call it?
Ball and chain.
Ball and chain.
Yep. Carolina rig.
Oh, God, I suck at that.
That's
How?
I know. I just don't have the patience.
That's
It's the
easier than shaking
easiest.
head.
It is the easiest thing in the world, and
Let me-
I just cannot
Danny,
get it.
Danny
down.
don't even,
Let me
Danny
tell you.
don't even realize that.
Oh, come on.
Danny don't even realize that he gave away his experience with the Carolina rig because he didn't know what a ball and chain was.
That's true.
Okay,
So
I
he
didn't.
ain't never thrown no Carolina rig.
Listen,
'Cause
I've got some
ball and chain, and this
definitions
one's a
of ball and
Carolina
chain,
rig.
and it ain't got
Ooh,
nothing
that's
to
something
do.
I don't have experience.
We're talking fishing here. Dan.
Yeah, I mean, ball and chain to me is a
I run
totally
with some
different
guys
thing.
down there in Sinclair and Oconee that throw that damn ball and chain.
Yeah.
And I'm throwing jig, spinner bait, heavy spinner bait. I'll throw a 3/4 ounce
Yeah.
to drag bottom with. And those guys whoop our butt every time we go out.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not
And
effective.
I mean
I
big
just am
fish,
not.
not little fish,
Yeah.
big fish.
The this past state classic on Hartwell, I was a co-angler. I wasn't a boater. I didn't qualify, but as a co-angler, the guy, my day 2 boater, that's all he threw all day long was Carolina rig, and he was this close from first place.
Really? So
Yeah.
what did he have on the end of his Carolina rig?
I don't know if he wants me to tell it.
Well, just say, okay,
It was a worm.
okay, it's a
it was a
worm.
worm.
That's okay.
Green
Um,
pumpkin lizard.
Green pumpkin
That's
lizard.
what these guys throw is a green pumpkin.
Yeah.
They won't throw anything else but a green pumpkin lizard.
And just drag it on a Carolina rig all day.
We were fishing a tournament. It's probably been 8-7 years ago. And at 1:00 in the afternoon, they didn't have a fish.
Yeah.
We had our limit already, but it wasn't a big limit. And they won the tournament in the last 2 hours on the Carolina rig.
It's effective. It's boring as hell, but it's effective.
It is, but you know what? You don't hear it's not sexy.
No, of course not.
It's not sexy. So nobody is posting on the group page or
But you
anything.
very seldom
Caught it on a Carolina rig.
lose a hooked fish on the Carolina rig.
That's true.
Very seldom they pull off.
Okay.
As long as you get it hooked.
Yeah.
Now he had a couple that he was cussing the time or two because he didn't get a hook in it, and it felt like a good pull. But yeah,
How big or how deep are these ditches you speak of?
man, it could be 10 foot, it could be 30 foot, it could be 50 foot.
I-
It all varies.
I just think, like I said, I mean, when people say ditches, it seems we've got guys on Lanier, especially, that make it seem like it's such a specific little place.
It's not.
It's really like if you look, here comes this hill, here comes that hill. Hell, that's the ditch.
Yeah.
Or what do you know? A channel, a creek channel.
Other
like
people call them drains.
drains.
it's,
Drains a good word for
Yeah.
it. All right, but let's do this. We got about 14 minutes to the question of the night. Do we have any new comments or questions, real quick, before I
Any of you throw a blade bait?
blade bait in the ditches? We can't get out of the ditch. We're stuck in the ditch tonight.
I've got them, and I've thrown them, but I haven't ever done any good. I'd rather throw
Yeah.
a rattle trap than I would a blade bait.
Yeah,
Ooh, okay.
I'd agree with that. Some kind of lipless, yeah.
Now, does that have to do with you fishing them shallower lakes down south?
Well, I'm from Florida to begin with, so
That's right. I forgot. That's why he looks
anything
so
deeper
good.
than 8 feet was new to me.
You know, that's
Yeah.
fun. Like Robert Blesky that come up here, and he was, he moved up here to try to learn how to fish these deeper lakes because he said down there, if somebody's throwing 8 foot, like on Okeechobee or something, that's deep. That is, and that's crazy thinking.
And it's grass and weeds everywhere. And
That
it doesn't die down there.
Tracy Coker, that's where good contour mapping comes into play. Yeah. Hell, on Carter's, they could be 90 foot. That's right. Is the north end fishing better than the south end on Lanier right now? Ryan, you said you fished all over the lake the other day, right?
Yeah.
All right. North or south right now, in your experience?
If you want to go catch a bunch of fish, if you want to catch between 12 and 14 pounds and then hope you get lucky, unless you know very specific areas to fish, then kind of go north. If you go Chestatee, to me right now, Chestatee Bay is fishing better than anywhere else on the lake.
Chestatee Bay.
That's my opinion.
Okay. All right. Justin Speece, that's my kind of guy. Shallow water power fishing. You're a power guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're a power guy. And all the conversations.
I'll throw a shaky head around docks and stuff, or a Cinco, but I throw 2 Cincos, a weighted and an unweighted.
Okay. You whack your rig, Eddie?
I'll wacky rig, but not a lot.
Like I do?
Yeah,
Like I do it year round.
I have one on the boat year round, but I'd rather throw that weighted Cinco.
Ask Ryan. We get out over 50-foot timber. I'll throw a weightless wacky over it right now. It might take an hour and a
You
half
need
for
a
it to get
sandwich
down.
or something?
Eat a
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Ask
Make the
Ryan.
sandwich first.
Ask
then eat
Ryan
it.
how the family's doing.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. It will get down there, will it not, Ryan?
It will.
Eventually.
Eventually.
It will.
It gets down there. I just love it. So, James, what part of the lake are we fishing next week?
That's my boy Redbeard.
Yeah, he is.
We're gonna stay north, bro. I love it up north.
Okay, well there you go. So I actually got a
Chestatee
tournament. I got a tournament coming up on Lanier in January.
Do
A
you?
little electric tournament out of Mary Alice.
You get your axle fixed.
Very
Hell no, I got any of you guys got a good used boat axle? I need it. Listen, when you're carrying around 3 fat women's worth of batteries, it bends them axles. I've blowed out like 3 wheel bearings this year. Like seriously, if you look at my boat, it's going down the road. It's like,
What we need,
my God, get her off of
what
me.
we need right now is we need some good-hearted people to go to Danny's house, 53 Calvert Road.
Damn.
And
What was that address again?
y'all need to go over there and y'all just go put a freaking axle on his boat.
972 Foot and Mount
Because that
Road.
dude
Is that what that
hasn't had
was?
an axle since freaking May.
Hey, listen, the last 3
Just
tournaments
help
I've got,
that man, somebody.
I
I asked him before I left here full time. I was like, "You get your axle fit?" No. I let like 3 weeks. You get your axle fit? No. Hell, we helped somebody fix their wheel bearing up here. He still didn't get his axle fixed. So it's just like, damn.
Listen,
Some of y'all go over there and just
give me an
somebody
axle.
play Santa Claus for him and fix his stuff.
That's right. Fix
Because
my
he
boat.
ain't gonna make it to Mary Alice and back.
I
There's
don't-
gonna be a Triton sitting on the side of the road
That's right. Hey,
with an
listen,
Ultrex on it and an Elco on the back.
it is. Speaking of electric, there, Danny. What speed on your boat? Want to race the kayak? I'll beat you. I'll still beat you, even with 3 fat women worth of batteries. I will still beat you. Maybe not by much,
Get
but
you
I will
some
beat you.
lithiums.
I do need to get some lithiums. But again, hey guys, if you want to contribute to the Danny Pruitt Needs Lithium Funds, we'll set up a GoFundMe right there. I got these Chinese guys that email me every day. I can buy lithium straight from China right now.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like they're wanting us to sell them in the store.
How long are they gonna last?
That's the problem. And I sent them back and they said, we'll put your name on it and everything about Fish North Georgia Lithiums. And I'm like, here's the deal, dude. And his name's Tom, and I know good and damn well his name ain't Tom. So Chang over there, whatever his name really is.
Hey, it's Tom Chang. Okay.
Tom Chang,
Show high.
whatever his name is.
Show
So
hey.
here's what I told him. I said, I tell you what, I said, listen, I'll sell your lithiums, but here's what you got to do first. I got an electric rig. I got a 48-volt Elco on the back. I got a 36-volt Ultrex on the front, and I got some graphs. I said, won't you send me enough batteries to power that thing? Let me test it out. And if it does okay, I'll sell your batteries. No, we can't do that.
I ain't
I'm like,
selling.
Can't do that. And I'm like, well, I can't sell your batteries because here's what happens. You guys that buy lithiums and stuff, and this is what I tell everybody comes in the store. Yeah, you can go on Amazon and buy cheap lithium, all that. What you need to consider is the company, because the warranties on lithiums are pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, they're 5, 10, 15-year warranties. But if the company ain't going to be around in 5 years, then it doesn't matter
Don't do you no good.
what the warranty is.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to put my name on a lithium battery and I give it to you, Kevin. You go out and your boat burn up or something like that. And
I know where you live now.
you do. Now that I have been outed by Ryan, I mean, good grief.
I did,
It's
it out of,
special business.
I did it out of the goodness of my heart because I'm sick and tired of you. I'm my axle fixed.
Well, won't you come fix it, big dog?
I ain't got time no more.
You ain't got time. He got to work now. He
I'm a
got
common,
no time for me.
I'm a common man.
So am I. Look at me. I'm doing a podcast in a pair of freaking work overalls from Walmart. Talking, they gets no
man.
more common than what I am right
Them
now.
Oshkosh bagosh.
They're not Oshkosh bagosh. They ain't Carhartt. I can't afford Carhartt. So
They're car parts.
Carhartts, you know, whatever the hell they are.
Carhartts.
I've been doxxed. That's what I was thinking, John B. I knew there was a term for that. I've been, that's what the kids call it.
You've been what?
I've been doxxed. That's when you put out like on
Oh.
Twitter or something, you put somebody's address out and everybody goes and protests in front of your house. I'm on like 18,000 Chinamen in there protesting.
I'm just
because
doing it
I ain't
out of the
selling their
goodness of my
batteries.
heart. Just so you'll,
I ain't
just
selling
so
my
you
batteries.
get
I've been,
fixed.
Danny has been doxxed. All right, anyway, hey, let's do the question of the week real quick while we're having a little break from the conversation. All right, so listen, you guys have heard me talking about this option line. All right, so this is a 6-pound right here. I'm actually going to put it on a drop shot rig, and I hate drop shotting, but I'm actually going to do that on and I'm going to try it out. You actually could use this for trout, but anyway, option fluoro leader. All right, made in Japan, spooled in California. Not going to hold that against them. I love them anyway, but seriously, we all know how important fluoro is, especially in these highland reservoirs. You got to have it. If you answer this question right, and it's a 2-part, you're going to do the question. It was your question.
You want me to do the question?
Yeah, because hell, I can't remember it. But and seriously, so listen. Here's what you get. You get $50 off. If you win, You're going to message me on Facebook, something like that. However you can get in touch with me. Hey, did I show you this? Look at this. Check this out. Like these things,
Or not.
they're electronic. I mean, they're electronic. Has electronic fluorocarbon.
Take that beer away.
Yeah, right.
Don't you touch it. Don't you touch my blonde ale
You
right
dirty
there.
blonde. Is that
Check
what it is?
this.
Psycho blonde. Sorry.
Check it out. They're magnetic. I don't know why. It amazes me. I just think that's pretty daggum cool. It's just,
Absolutely.
it's like a fidget spinner.
Yes.
It's
that.
a fidget spinner. Danny's sitting up here the whole day going, wow. But anyway, you get $50 off at optionusa.com, and you can try this stuff out. Again, if my test subjects would go fishing, they could tell me how good this line is. So you got to go fishing.
I am.
You are.
January
I gave
6th.
you what size did I give you?
I got 15 pounds.
You got 15. You got 15. All right. And who was on last week? Who was here with us last week?
John Allred.
Aldred. He's in Helen this weekend. Him and his wife come by. Yeah, Blake. Blake don't fish
Blake
no more.
don't fish.
He don't get no.
Blake don't get it. He don't fish no more.
Blake, he
But I am going Tuesday.
Squirrel man.
Blake
Nick,
just
hey,
running
listen,
around.
And this kind of tells you a little bit about some of the changes that are coming. I am going to video a squirrel hunt with Blake next Tuesday. We're going to get on Dawson Forest and run behind his dog, and we're going to slam some squirrels out of trees, and then we're going to cook them. So it's going to be a watch, kill, and cook video. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Anyway, all right. So for $50 off, if you win first person in the comment section, Ryan, you're the judge. And it's going to take you guys an hour and a half because I let old man here do the question. And it's is it two-parter or three-parter?
You want me to make it a two-part? I can.
Make it a two-parter because these guys right here, even though they're the best fans in the entire world.
It's an easy question.
Okay, well, let's
Okay.
do three-parter then. So, all right. So listen, this is a three-part question. You got to have all three, and you're going to have to help because, hell, I don't know the answer. All three parts of this question you got to have right. So here we go. Here's the question of the week for $50 off at optionusa.com. Kevin, it's all yours.
All right. Three-part question. When was the first Bassmaster magazine published? Who was on the cover? And when was it reprinted?
I mean, damn.
So we'll see y'all at the end of the show.
So about
Sweet.
I tried to tell you it was a hard. So like the first two I get, it's that third
What was
question
the
that he
third
threw
part?
in there right there.
When
It's
was
like
it reprinted?
so.
The third
Okay,
one?
so when was the first Bassmaster magazine published?
What year?
What year?
Who was
We're just
on
gonna go with the year.
All right. When was the first one? First?
What year? Who was on the cover? And when was that reprinted? I got listen like Nathan, guys, Josh. There's three answers to this question. Y'all got you got one of three, so you got to get all three to be right. This is where we all probably can go take a bathroom break right here because it's going to take them a while. Everybody, all right, is Ron Swinford right?
Oh, I can't even read it from here.
Damn,
He says
Kevin.
Huh?
He said 1969, Ray Scott, 1998.
Incorrect.
Incorrect.
Keep rolling.
It ain't 98.
Justin Spieth, spring of 86, Ray Scott, 98.
No.
No, 86, Justin.
86.
Ryan said, Ryan, you can't win. Is that right?
Tried.
Is that right? What Ryan said?
What did Ryan say?
I can't say it.
I didn't Google it.
No.
Okay, good. You're wrong. Okay,
But
so
it's
68, I think, is right. Is 68 right?
It's on the border of 67, 68.
We'll go
So
with
they got-
68.
We'll go with 68.
All right, Ray Scott, 1988.
Nope.
Okay, is Ray Scott right?
Nope.
Guys, it is not Ray Scott. So y'all quit putting Ray Scott. All right, so, but
Everybody just
1968.
copying me and
1968 is
We're-
the first
We're
answer.
going with 1968. Oh, Clun. Hey, listen, it's 68 Wingate 2018.
Nope.
I told you this daggone question was just going to, I mean, we need some like Jeopardy music.
You're right.
Ryan, pull up some of that music you was playing earlier. Can you do that?
Nope.
68 Wingate 88.
Nope.
All right, we're gonna like run all our viewers off. Everybody,
Well-
68 Bill Murray. Damn,
Bill
Ryan.
Murray.
Okay, all right. So let's give him a
Bobby
hint.
Murray's brother.
Let's give him a hint. What is the initials of the guy that was on the cover?
JH.
You're smiling. You got like this shit-eating grin on your face.
You wanted a question. I found you a
You
question.
did. You not
By
seriously.
God, he did, didn't he?
Jack Wingate. No, so it's JH's initials. Guys, I've got to give away this $50. You guys, somebody has got. We know it's 1968. JH's the initials.
It's actually 1967.
Okay, so it's 1967. All right, so John B said Jimmy Houston.
There ain't nobody in there. Nobody. No, listen.
Nobody's going to get this one. Huh?
I'll back up and punt. There ain't nobody.
Did you find
I'm
out?
a Bassmaster damn guru.
Oh,
I
my
don't know
God.
who the blue hell this guy is.
This guy's name is. You want the name?
All right, that's okay. So
We need. Hold on. We need.
Do we have 2 out of 3 at least? Do we have the reprint
No,
date?
you don't have the published date.
We don't even have 2 out of 3, guys.
how about 1968 Jimmy Houston, 1988?
It is not
1967. Is
Okay,
the
so
correct answer.
1967 is the correct answer. Okay,
Do you?
guys, Google who was on the cover of the first Bassmaster magazine. It's got to be on there.
If they Google it, it'll show it. It's a picture of the guy with his name.
68 Jimmy Houston, 1988. Is
Nope.
that okay? So listen, hey guys, I said 68 was the right answer. It's really 67. 67 Jimmy Houston, 1998.
And 88 ain't right.
68 was the first print. Okay, well, I'll take at this point. 68 works for me. Just get the other 2. You guys got it over there in the gallery?
We all.
I can't let y'all win
Got
though.
it now?
I can't let y'all win. You realize that it would look like some impropriety
The
going on
picture,
if I let y'all win.
the picture looks horrible.
I can.
The
If I
picture
can
looks
read it, you
horrible.
can read it.
It looks
70
like if Tim Hancock's wife. It looks like one of Tim Hancock's whole pictures.
It's
of
not
him holding
Jimmy
up
Houston.
like 9 bass.
No, it is not Jim Holt.
Yep.
Okay, so
Oh,
listen,
we
we're
had 2 out of
close.
3.
All right, 67 Jim Holt, 98.
When was it reprinted?
Was it 98?
No.
Okay, so Wyatt Richards, you're the closest so far. 67
Wyatt.
Jimmy Holt. So we know 2 out of 3. We got to get it all, guys. 89.
Nope.
Do you really know the answer?
I know the answer.
Oh my gosh, this has like been the toughest question we've ever had. He did. He sent me this because I got your question.
I'm impressed, to be honest.
You know what? Because he's like, I'm gonna stump their ass.
Uh-huh.
He goes, okay. How about that? 93,
No.
67. Jimmy Holt, 90.
No, but it sounds like that might have been closer.
He was close.
Okay, so we're close.
Right.
Justin
Because
Speed,
he's basing it off of
60,
68.
67.
Oh.
Jimmy Holt, 97.
No.
Oh Lord, guys, come on.
Come on, just start. Damn. Copy
I'm about to say,
and
listen, we
paste
know it ain't 93. 2022.
No.
North Georgia Pump Company. Hey, there you go.
New
90,
viewer.
Jimmy Holt.
We got all
So
kinds
it's
of
not
people that
92?
didn't watch
It
this
is
show.
92.
Okay, Clint Bartlett Fishing. 67. Jimmy Holt,
The 25th
1992.
anniversary.
Boom.
All right, so there
we
you go. So John B. Was it John B? No, or Josh Tate?
No.
Who the hell was it? Where'd it go? Clint Bartlett. Clint Bartlett
Clint
Fishing.
Bartlett.
I'm sorry.
Is that it?
That is the winner.
67, Jimmy Holt, 92. That's correct.
All right, Clint Bartlett.
Ding, ding, ding.
Thank the Lord.
I'm gonna make sure.
My gosh. Double check.
Miserable.
You want me to do it next week too?
Hell no. No, you don't get no. That was a one and done right there. All right, so
Be free and done.
yes, all right. So pull it back up. Who was it? Clint Bartlett Fishing. All right. Hey Clint, if you will message me, Danny Pruitt, on Facebook. If you do Facebook, send me a messenger. I'll send you the code, or you can email me at danny@fishnorthga.com.
We can give him your address.
Hell, I mean,
Stop by the house.
party at Danny's house. Party at Danny's house. Good Lord. Like seriously, like,
Bring an axle.
bring an axle. So listen,
And
guys.
2 wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I need some.
And maybe a spare tire to go with it.
Did I tell you about what happened going to Blue
Help
Ridge?
this man.
Listen, this is no shit.
Oh,
I
boy.
got this.
Here we go.
So it's my electric rig,
Hold my
17 and a half foot Triton. We're leaving out of here and we're going to Blue Ridge. So we get on 515 and I'm just cruising. I'm just driving and this car keeps coming up right beside us. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm thinking it's some young punk screwing with me. So Lord forgive me. I'm flipping him off and just telling him to get on like that. We pull into the gas station. My tire has been flat and blowed out probably for about 40 miles, and I had no idea.
Oh,
the rim is glowing.
Nice.
The rim is glowing. All right, so fine. So we get down there. We're going to change that. We're going
What's it mean when this light comes on?
Yeah, right. So we're going to change it. I got a spare. Well, apparently somewhere along the way, whoever we bought the boat from put the boat down on the spare, and of course the way I back it up, that boat was bent. So luckily we had some guys come up that fished with us. They basically had to hacksaw the bolt off to get the spare tire on. We get the spare tire on, flat.
Naturally.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, you get for another 40 miles at least.
that's right. I mean, I could get it back. I could get it back to Dawson County.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, listen, listen, when I say that thing was glowing, like it was hot to the touch. I mean, I don't know how long that tire had been blowed out. That guy was probably just trying to be a good citizen going,
That's it. That's me and Michael Key. That's me. Hold on. That's me and Michael Key. We got to get back to talking fish. That was me. I didn't realize that was our good buddy, Michael Key. That damn, he bought the damn 36-volt battery. It was going to he said, I said, go upstairs. And Danny's like, I'm like, I can't get this big ass battery in this thing to run this trolling motor. And Danny says, I don't care. However you need to get in there. Saw the damn thing. we take a sawzall to the front deck of the fiberglass of that boat and open up the front deck lid.
he did.
And we get it in there, and he goes, can I use it? Can I use the front lid? I said, hell no. There's a battery in it. You ain't got room.
There was no room in that.
We get up there. He goes, go take the battery out. I can't remember why I go take the battery out. There's the battery out. It takes us 40 minutes to get the battery out of that.
It was a big 36-volt lithium.
We did it over here in front of this shop. And we took that battery out. We was over there. We had fiberglass running up our hands because we were trying to get the battery
No,
out.
it's aluminum. It's aluminum.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're down here just making all kinds of racket. But listen, it was an old Trex. I wanted that 36-volt in there. And, you know, it's an
Well,
old.
by God, you got it.
We did.
Good job.
That old Trex is being held on by 4 bolts because there ain't enough room on a Triton aluminum
There's
boat
not.
for an old
There's
Trex.
not. Listen, it runs. It does the job.
That's all that matters.
It does the job. But I'll be damned. I can't. I mean, my axle, I think my axle is bowed somehow because when you put a wheel bearing on, it just don't seat right.
This is coming. I'm
Go ahead.
I'm gonna save Danny the humiliation.
No, you gotta say I don't care.
This is coming from the guy. The first time we went Tuesday live fishing on Allatoona, and I hadn't drove that far in a while. I've been just fishing on Lanier, and I hadn't been that far in a while. And we roll up to the store that morning like 5 o'clock, and I roll in there, and Danny gets out, and I get out of my truck, and the first thing I do is I go back there to my hubs, and I've been down and I'm touching my hubs. Swear to God, Danny goes, "What are you doing?"
I didn't know you could touch them and feel if they were hot.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, I'm checking my hubs to see before we get
That's the
going.
First line of
Right
defense,
there.
yeah.
If we blow a hub out and I blow a hole in the fiberglass fender on my boat,
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
he goes, "Oh,
Yeah, you're never too old to learn.
No.
I haven't rode up pulling boats
in your
everywhere.
defense, that's correct."
But I tell you what,
I
I can't.
figured
Hey,
you'd know.
but Ryan,
Damn wheel bearings will get hot.
but Ryan, I can back the hell out of a trailer though, can't I?
You can back the hell out of a trailer.
Yeah, by gosh, I'm one of those.
You can back a trailer better than some people can.
That's right. I don't know nothing about hubs and nothing like that, but I can back a trailer. And so, anyway,
Oh, that's just geometry.
it is. But listen, we're really lacking in geometry in a lot of places like that.
Charlie Adams comes up to me the other day, and we're putting barges on this big old pole barn. And he comes up to me. He says, "You know what I'm going to do?" He said, "Because you're the smartest person I've ever met." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "I'm getting you a Swanson's book."
The hell's that?
And he was like, "You don't know what a Swanson's book is? A Swanson's book is basically a book. It's about this big. And
Yeah.
It's blue. It's a little bit blue book. And basically, if you learn all the calculations in a Swanson's book, you can build anything and everything in construction with a square. in
Okay.
Swanson's book.
So it's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, so let's get back to fishing. So anyway, Clint Bartlett, huh?
Yeah.
We're getting out of the
ditch.
ditch. Let's get out of the ditch. Okay, so
1 hour, nothing but fishing. Here we go.
I can't promise you that. We'll,
Have you met these guys?
we'll do our best. Hey, listen, it is a Thursday before Christmas.
We'll be back in the ditch.
It is a Thursday. We're going to be back in the ditch in a second. I'm trying to stay out of it.
Someone's gonna come in and comment. So what do you throw in the ditches?
There will be a comment before it's over about a ditch. I guarantee you that. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, so the whole purpose of this damn show was to talk about what not to do, not ditch fishing. So we're going. You can do it on Allatoona. You can do it on Oconee right now. Whatever lake you choose, Kevin, because I like you. You can do that. You got to do Lanier because that's the lake you fish the most.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then Ryan can do Lanier. You show up tomorrow, December what? 23rd, 24th? I don't even know what. Ain't 24th.
Tomorrow's 22nd.
22nd. December 22nd. How is Kevin Thornton going to approach, let's say Alatoona? How you going to approach it?
I won't. I won't put my boat. I won't put my boat in Alatoona.
Damn,
right
that's
now.
not the answer I was going for.
But you asked me.
I did. I did.
How am I fishing Lake Alatoona? I won't.
I'm one of these meticulous type guys, Danny, that my boat is not going to be run up on rocks or a ramp. And I got a keel guard, but I am not going to take a chance that I don't see that little old pebble that scratches the bottom.
Okay. Hypothetically,
If you were to
go to Alatoona and you drove a piece of junk boat and you didn't mind scratches
I wouldn't be.
and you didn't have such hard questions of the weeks, what would Kevin Thornton be throwing on Alatoona?
Jimmy Holt, 1968. Who the hell is
That's
that?
a question.
I'd probably have a crankbait tied on. I'd have a shaky head, and I'd have a Carolina rig.
Daggum ball and chain. See, I learned something. I know ball and chain now.
I don't like to throw. I don't like to throw it, but it catches fish.
it does.
But what are you going to start off with? Of those three,
Crankbait.
okay. Now you throwing a rock crawler type crankbait, or
Yes.
is that your crankbait of choice, or do you like a Rapala? Do you have one that you like over another?
I'd rather throw a DD10 or a DD8.
Okay. Now here's my next question: are you doing crawl colors?
Oh yeah, they'll have red in them, some orange.
Some red and some orange. Okay. All right. I got you. That works. What about you, James?
Tomorrow cloudy.
Why do you always have to ask about the weather?
Because it depends on conditions.
All right. What's tomorrow supposed to be, guys? Sunny? Somebody pull up the weather.
I'm going to Harris tomorrow. I'm not going fishing.
You going gambling?
I'm going to Harris.
Have you been to Harris yet?
Uh-uh.
I went up there with my son to play some sports bets. I'm going back.
Nice.
Yeah. I did win like $20 on the slot or whatever the hell they called.
I'm taking my wife, my mother, and my daughter-in-law.
The answer's cloudy.
Answer's cloudy. It was right there in the comments.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey, we'll get to that question real quick in a second.
I'm
Justin.
slinging a jig. Jig, maybe shaky head. Just again.
What are you targeting?
Rock.
And is that what you were targeting?
Oh, yeah.
Rock. So everything. Yeah. All
And
y'all's answers
Alatoona,
are
all
rock.
you got is rock.
That is Alatoona, but
That's right.
Lanier's got a variety of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for rock they do. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
But chunk rock if I can find it, not just like little pebbles and stuff, but if I can find like good size rock.
Something's going to hold some heat.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're looking for that heat. Okay, I like that. Ryan, before you answer, Clint Bartlett wants to know OG. I've seen OG Slim a couple of times. OG Slim versus rock crawler. I like the rock crawler. I'm just a rock crawler guy. That's the one crankbait I got confidence in.
Dane, I'm methodical. Sorry, buddy.
So do y'all throw the OG Slim?
I would throw the OG Slim if I was targeting something with threadfin chat or something.
Okay. All right.
But
That's
not on rocks. I wouldn't.
not on rocks. Okay. All right.
Break the circuit board.
So Buddha said a shaky head. I like that. So what about you, Ron?
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow it's cloudy.
I'm gonna go throw a underspin, a jerk bait, a shaky head, and a rock crawler.
What are you going to start off with?
No underspin.
Really?
I'm gonna go catch me
Ditch fish.
a few ditch fish. I've got to.
No, listen. No. Let me rephrase. No. Gosh, dog it.
So I got,
Let me rephrase that.
Here we-
What-
so
what else you
I-
got?
hold on.
Wait a second. Let's.
So I
Okay.
have.
You're
so
not
I
allowed to
have-
fish a ditch.
Listen, so I have one of those magical ditches located
Told
that
you.
has some big fish in it. I'm gonna go catch a few of them, and then I'm gonna go throw a crankbait, jerkbait the rest of the day.
Okay, Ryan, you're not allowed to fish a ditch. What are you throwing? You're not in a ditch tomorrow.
I'm gonna do nothing but throw a rock crawler on secondary points, main lake points, and then after that, I'm gonna throw a shaky head on points, and I'm gonna live scope fish over brush. Ooh, shit! Sorry, get off me.
Where did that come from?
My bad.
What was that all about,
My
Ryan?
bad.
What?
I got a little carried away.
He's thinking about last Friday and Saturday.
There's still a lot of
Oh
fish.
boy.
There's a lot of fish still in summertime. We found that out last week. It's like, yeah.
But you
What
know.
are they doing? What are they doing on his humps?
Well, all right. Do you get the okay? Oconee and all them. Any humps down there?
Yeah, there's some humps down there.
Are they like late Lanier humps, or are they just?
I don't even want to hear. I
You-
don't want to hear nothing about no humps.
I don't think there's as many as in Oconee.
But what would you consider like a good hump? How deep in the Coney and all that?
12 to 15 feet.
So not very deep.
No.
But given that Lake Lanier is down so far, some of the humps that were in 20 foot of water, 25 foot of water,
Another
they're-
islands.
yeah, if they ain't out of the water and all that.
I know where I'd go if I was going to Oconee tomorrow. First thing.
Where would you go?
First thing in the morning, if I was going to Oconee tomorrow, I'd go right above. What's the name of that boat ramp? Right there in the S turns before we start getting into the thicker timber spread out across the lake. That one hump out there. Where the river
You're not
channel
talking about
runs this way. Long shoals above Long shoals.
Shoals?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that. I'm gonna go to that S bend over there where all them big old boulders the size of a Volkswagen bus are.
Just where you turn up to go up Richland?
Yes.
I really wish I could participate in this conversation, but I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
He knows.
Yeah.
He
So
knows where he's going.
Would you go there, Kevin?
Yes. I'd
Why?
Well, the timber is nice on the left side there, but I'd go up Richland a little further.
and what would you be targeting those fish with? You go in tomorrow and it's cloudy,
Carolina
according to the
rig.
weatherman over here.
You know,
Carolina rig.
I got the Weather Channel right here.
Come on.
I'm not a
I know
jerk
it.
bait guy, so I'd go with the jig. I'd go with the spinner bait.
Black and blue jig.
Oh yeah,
I find that so interesting.
and I'd go with, believe it or not, I'd go with a peg Cinco, like a worm, just a Cinco. Though
A peg Cinco.
3/8 ounce.
There you go, guys. If you're going to Oconee, where'd you say you were going?
Richland.
If you're going to Richland tomorrow, peg Cinco. Green pumpkin, right?
Mm,
Black and blue.
no,
You're not going to tell me, are you?
no.
After them first 2 weeks, you kinda knew that
That's
was
what I'm
coming.
saying. Like I always try. Like sometimes you can
I
get them
can
to
tell you it's
slip
not
up.
a color I've said.
Okay, hey, listen, I believe you, dog. Sometimes though, guys will get in there, and if you just rephrase the question just a little bit, you can get them to slip. You just got to work on it just a little bit. That's
He's a
right.
wise old man.
Yes,
Don't
hey,
slip.
yeah, you are wise. You are wise. But yeah, the police officer and the interrogation techniques. I'm paying attention to McGuire.
Spontaneous utterance.
That's spontaneous utterance. Can it be used against you in a court of law? Absolutely. There you go.
Questioned me without my attorney being present.
Oh, no attorneys are present.
Oh, we got a lawyer now.
Oh my goodness. I got an intelligent crowd here tonight. Do any of you guys
What'd you call me?
intelligent?
Oh.
Yeah, you're intelligent.
He
You're
slipped.
intelligent. It slipped. You are intelligent. Do any of you guys throw a hair jig?
I have.
Tim says a what?
A hair jig sounds like a bad Friday night, but
Oh,
a hair
it's
jig.
only
I've
Thursday,
thrown
man.
it, but I don't have the confidence to stay with it.
Okay, what were you targeting when you were throwing a hair jig?
Bass.
I got that. Damn, Kevin.
Yes. He said it so honestly. What are you targeting?
Basically,
Bass.
like, listen, my father-in-law, when he was alive, his favorite word for me was dumbass. And I felt like for a second Kevin was going to say that right after he said bass. Like, bass, dumbass. You know, Mr. Dumas. I honestly, seriously, because that's what he affectionately called me that, I think. But, okay,
We'll
so
go with that. Yeah.
but spots or largemouth?
In Oconee, I haven't caught any spots. They're all
Okay, so
largemouth.
you're fishing a hair jig in Oconee.
Yes,
What color?
white.
A white hair jig in Oconee.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't Dana throw one of those?
Yeah, he makes his own.
He makes his own. He says it's a walleye. It's a version of a walleye hair jig because he's from Oklahoma or one of them states out there, and they have a lot of walleye. So he brought that hair jig down here to Lanier, and actually does very well with it. So he throws a hair jig. So if you guys want to watch Dana Smith, FCP fishing on YouTube, I don't know how often he throws it, but I do know he does throw it. Now, have you ever thrown a hair jig?
No, I have not. But funny story. So after I got my first boat, that little red tin can, I had a buddy of mine. He's an old car club buddy of mine. Name's Mike. He was out with me, and he bought one of those little basic little, teenage tackle, just kind of getting started. It's got some little pink things in it. It's got some
Snoopy
little
tackle box.
fuzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like one of those.
Right.
He tied on this little pink hair jig. We were out in the middle of nowhere. Well, we were on Lanier, just out in the middle of wide open water. And I still had that itty bitty little Lowrance hook 2 or hook 4 or something. Just no GPS on it.
Just told you how deep it
It's
was.
just 2D
Yeah,
basically.
right.
And you had a screen this tall. And I saw one arch, and I said, "Dude, drop that thing down there. Let's just see what happens." Dude, no kidding. He dropped it down, pulled up striper
On a hair jig.
on a little pink hair.
Now,
jig.
that is something Dana catches a lot of stripers on it. He does catch a lot of striper. Ryan, you ever thrown a hair jig?
Yeah.
You ever done any good on it?
I hate it.
Okay.
Next question.
Next question was that's his drop shot face. That's Ryan's drop shot face. All right, fishing with Farmer. What is everyone's go-to jig trailer for this time of year? Chunk, grub, speed crawl? Question mark. And you don't throw a trailer with a hair jig, do you?
Yeah.
What did you throw? Hell, I don't know. I ain't never thrown one.
Chunk.
A chunk.
I want something that doesn't have a whole lot of movement to it.
Okay. Well, what about with your black and blue
profile.
jig?
It depends on the time of the year.
Okay, so right now, this time of year,
It would be just a chunk.
just a chunk. You're going with a chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
Less movement.
Less
They
movement.
don't want a lot of action in the water in the wintertime. That's how I feel.
Okay.
So I'll just throw a flat old zoom chunk.
Zoom chunk. All
Just
right.
do it for the profile then.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, James?
Well, I'll throw a finesse or I'll throw a super two, depending on what lake we're on.
Yeah.
Super chunk.
Say Alatuna. So if you're throwing a jig on Alatuna,
Finesse.
you're going
I'll do-
small.
Yes.
You don't throw that daggone little Picasso thing,
Little spot.
little spotty,
No.
but you do throw, but you still like a more finesse jig.
Yes.
Okay, all right. What about you, James?
On what?
Lanier.
Lanier?
Or the next
Oh,
lake
are
you're
we-
fishing. I don't
We
care.
still on hair jigs or no?
No, we're on regular jigs. What
Regular
what kind of trailer
Um,
are you throwing on your jigs this time of year?
Dude, I do the tried and true Yamamotos, man. The twin tail grubs.
You can't go wrong with them.
You really can't. I mean, my only complaint about them is that they're soft. You know, they tear easy. You
Yeah.
don't get that many fish out of one, but they put 50 in a dang bag. So,
They do. They
Whatever.
do. Ryan.
I'm
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done.
no,
Mhm.
well,
No,
almost.
don't be done. No, keep,
Almost.
keep going.
But you know, you brought up that little spotty, and that's what Sal freaking
I know.
won the classic on
I
a
know.
couple weeks ago. That little spotty. I mean, it
You
catches
know,
fish. They're
it
just
does.
expensive.
Yeah, well, that,
big fish eat that finesse just as well as they will a big jig.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I agree. Everybody thinks a Ned rig's a joke, but you see some big fish caught on a Ned rig, and they're like, you ain't never gonna catch something big on that thing. But occasionally, somebody pulls
Yeah,
up
there's a lot
a
of guys that
monster.
go out and catch 3 fish, nice fish, and a 5-fish limit, and can't get the other 2 fish because
Right.
they got a big jig.
Yeah, because they're going too big.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, what about you? What are you using?
Double tail grub.
Double tail grub.
Yep.
Okay, the
Even in
real,
the cold water like this,
Yeah.
that's about all we use.
That's about all we use. man.
Yeah, and I can tell you, 99% of the time, it's cinnamon
only,
black
only
flake.
time I own Lanier or Alatuna or Chateau or Hartwell. About the only time I deviate from a double tail grub is kind of depending upon what size fish I'm trying to catch. If
Okay.
I'm trying to catch a kicker, I'll take double tail grub off and I'll put a chunk or a rage crawl on the back.
All right, well, let me ask you
Yeah.
this with the jig colors right now, because you're throwing crankbaits that got red in them. You're throwing crankbaits that got red in them,
mm-hmm.
but you're throwing a black and blue jig.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not going with red or reddish color in your jig? Or is it just a confidence thing? You see where I'm going with that question?
Big confidence, but there are jigs that I wouldn't throw a jig with red in it. I'd throw a jig with some orange in it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't throw red.
Okay, but you will with a crankbait.
I will with a crankbait in a heartbeat.
Do you think that's
And
more
I'll throw a
because
rattle
you,
trap that's red too.
so you think the red is more reaction, but if you're doing something subtle and slow like a jig
I think red's just a good winter color for some reason. It just
on a crankbait?
I think it gets their attention, and kind of what you alluded into. It's like that reaction to it.
Right?
Um,
well, it's like chartreuse. What in the water looks like
Can
pure chartreuse?
Hey,
Nothing.
interesting fact, and this goes to some research I'm doing. Fish, bass especially, according to the University of Michigan and several other studies,
Well, there you go.
I know, right? Shit. Fish
Well, there's your problem.
fish do not see chartreuse the way we see chartreuse. So they do not see the color chartreuse.
What color do they see it as?
It's more of a shade of white. It's a darker shade of color. They see certain colors, but chartreuse is not one of them. According to this study, and again, I'm not saying this is me. According to that, chartreuse is not a color that the cone in fish's eyes can see. So they see it like a shade.
What are they looking at? A color selector or something?
I don't know how they figure it out. I mean, seriously, I don't know how when they do these
Uh,
studies. But
there's a hell of a lot of damn chartreuse spinner baits that are sold.
well,
Pure
see,
chartreuse.
that's it. And and how many of us dip our tails of our shaky heads in chartreuse?
A lot.
But
Some.
according to so the cones in a fish's eyes are different than ours. They see greens really green is the color they see the best.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. And it doesn't matter how green the water is, they still can tell a shade of green out of it, even green water. They see some blues and all that. And I'm reading all this stuff. But when it comes to chartreuse, it's actually more of a shade to them. And I don't know why. I mean, so if you look at it, if that's true, then that means when your shaky head comes up, you got a green pumpkin shaky head or whatever, it's more of a whitish gray on the tail as opposed to chartreuse.
Let me throw this at you.
Listen, I don't know the answer.
You pull old school fishing. Remember crickets and bobbers kind of thing? You pull a brim up, little bluegill. What color is that tail?
It's called cornbread. Cornbread. Well,
But
I mean, some of them have it.
that chartreuse can kind of mimic a tail on
And that,
a little bit.
and listen, that makes 100%. But that's what I'm saying. I'm reading this study because I want to do a video on what colors fish really can see. And the reason I want to do that is because think of like the color red.
Yeah.
According to them, according to pretty much everybody, once you get below 10 feet, 12 feet, the color red dissipates. They can't see the color red. But yet you got anglers out here putting red hooks on deep diving crankbaits thinking it looks like blood and stuff like that. But according to
deep diving crankbait,
they are. But according to the people in the know, they can't see red deep. Red dissipates.
where does black fit into that?
I don't know. So I'm trying to figure all this out. So if you guys in the comment section know, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear your comments on that. It's so there's companies out there that put out products that say certain colors work, and as the deeper you get, the colors work better and stuff like that. And so I wanted to know how true that was. And according to this study, according to like Morning Dawn,
Yeah.
we all throw Morning Dawn.
Absolutely.
Everybody throws Morning Dawn. If you're drop shotting,
That's a secret color.
Or wacky. No, it's not.
Okay.
but
Right.
everybody throws a Morning Dawn. According to what I'm reading so far, they can't tell us. It doesn't look to them like Morning Dawn. It changes into a shade or something like that.
Well, that explains why they eat it. Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. Black never goes away. Red normally turns to black below 10 to 12 feet. Okay, Ron, there you go.
Interesting. All right.
So smallmouth are known for attacking chartreuse baits around spawning beds. Now, I would say that definitely I could see that if it's shallow, but I don't know. So like the dark water, and think, in fish's eyes, the way, and it goes to this opsin. That opsin is a protein in the fish's eyes. And I said that last week or the week before. It's what those guys taught me. The more opsin that a fish has, the better it can differentiate between light and dark, light shades and dark shades. And it said that bluefin tuna and trout have the most protein of opsin in their eyes. Therefore, their eyesight's amazing, and that's why it's so hard to catch some of them. Catfish have the worst. As far as freshwater, we're trying to catch species like that. So bait colors catch fishermen. I agree with you that.
Yeah.
Chef Special, that is a good jig. That's my favorite jig, 15, 18 feet. But the deeper you go, colors turn into shades of black and white. Okay, so that makes sense. But then here's my question on this. Guys throw a drop shot, and it's a clear worm with a lot of glitter in it. There's not enough sunlight down there for the glitter to shine. And if the worm is clear, what shade is a clear worm?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't either. I wish some of you guys would
If
answer.
they got all that opsin in their eyesight, they can't see that glitter.
So I'm not going to name names, but I had a guy say that some of the products he puts out when they go deep, the color disappears and all the fish see is the glitter. But how many people on Lake Lanier, and we all know this, you hear it when the divers go down and they're looking for a body or something. Somebody drowns, unfortunately. They go down, they say, once you get 15, 20 feet, you can't see. It's so dark down there. Now, of course, that's human eyes.
Right.
You're looking at fish eyes. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question, but it's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
Because the reason I'm trying to find it is how much of that is marketing and how much of it is actual truth.
Probably a lot of it.
Is marketing?
Marketing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Morning Dawn does not look like a pink Morning Dawn.
Yeah. I don't know.
But they bite the hell out of it.
They do.
They do. Ryan,
I
you got
agree with
anything?
Ron on the black. That black is a good worm bait color.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If black works and green pumpkin works, which is a darker shade, why do we throw all these crazy colors?
Because we like them.
Yeah. That
I'm
I'm not being funny. It's
No,
just, it
I'm
looks good
being-
to us.
Yeah. That or trying to show them something.
See,
they hadn't
scratch
seen.
fishing says a
That's all I
clear
can think of.
turns chartreuse after 10 feet. And you might be right. But if, according to the University of Michigan, they can't see chartreuse.
There you go again, University of Michigan.
Well, listen. Listen. I don't like their football team
Okay.
or basketball team, but maybe there's a smart person in there, maybe. I don't know. I'll try to find a different university. But it was just an interesting study to read because I'm sitting there reading, I'm going down, and I'm like, well, that bait company's full of crap. If that's true, that bait company's full of it. But it goes to the red on treble hooks.
Yeah.
Red dissipates 10, 12 foot down. Why are people throwing a 30-foot deep diving crankbait with red hooks? And they'll change the factory hooks out to put red hooks on them.
Well,
And you're like,
factory hooks suck most of the time anyway.
well, that's true. So I buy a lot of colors for some reason. Okay, I can't remember. Here we go. I buy a lot of colors for some reason. Some of them just catch more fish than the others.
That's true.
But
I
is it the color or is it the shade?
I think if the fish wants to bite,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what color it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
The
getting
rest
to
of
that
it's
point.
confidence, as we said.
Okay, so then it's let's take Ryan's horny toad. He throws white, so we can say okay that and a lot of top water baits got white bellies.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say
a lot of your frogs have white bellies.
a lot of your frogs. So let's just say white is a legitimate one color you got to have. Black or a dark green pumpkin is another color you got to have. Why do we have 58,000 other colors? Do we make it as human beings? Do we just make it too difficult
For our own good?
for any? Yeah.
Probably.
Morning Dawn will forever be in my boat. I agree with you. See, I love that Kevin is on the show. Casey Bland.
Hey,
you know Casey?
I know Casey.
I love Casey.
Yeah.
Casey is a good dude.
He's a jig fisherman.
He
Let me tell you.
he is definitely a jig fisherman.
I'll scratch fest up. He's I was just kidding. No idea.
What? who what now?
Scratch fishing.
What do you say?
He said the clear turns chartreuse after 10 foot. He said, I'm just kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You know what? He goes, I'll put this down. Danny's going to read it.
That's right.
He goes, I know Danny's going to read it. And Merry Christmas to you and all you guys,
That's
definitely. So, but it's an interesting thing. Go into a Bass Pro Shop. Go into Hammond's. Go into a really legit big tackle store.
Yeah.
And there are more colors on the wall than you can shake a stick at.
That's marketing.
It is. But don't you think as anglers by now, we ought to have figured that out?
Thanks for staying out.
You know, when you get down to it, you can buy a pack of worms to try. You say, hey, that looks kind of good. We'll buy a pack.
Right?
But when it really gets down to it, how many colors do you actually buy? I'll tell you, I buy
That's
3.
a good question. Yeah. Well, I'm going to start with, that's a good question. Probably. How many colors? We're talking worms.
Worms. Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, you're going to answer this too, but we'll start with you, Kevin. How many colors of worms do you actually, how about not only buy, but do you actually fish with?
Well, if I don't
Well,
fish
some
with it, I
people
won't
buy. You see guys with 800 colors. I
Right.
get the premise. How many colors do you actually buy
Buy?
and
to use?
as your
If I'm gonna,
as your
if
confidence.
I'm just buying, I probably got 50 different colors of
Okay.
worms, but to use, I've got 4.
So you got 46 colors and you ain't never going to touch.
They look good inside that box.
They look good inside
Yeah.
the box. What 4 colors? Oh, that's right. Hell, you can't tell me.
I
But-
can tell you 3 of them.
Tell me 3. Give me 3 of the 4.
Green pumpkin's one,
Yeah.
black blue's another,
Yeah.
red shad is one.
Red
I won't
shad.
tell you the 4th one.
Okay. So of the 4 colors that you got, which one do you like the best?
You're looking at you.
I was trying to get him to slip. All right, you. What's your colors?
I've got 3 main go-tos.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, one looks like a brown pattern, one
Mhm.
looks like a shad pattern, and one kind of looks like a craw pattern.
Okay.
But I have bought a handful of others just to say, hey, that looks good. Let's try it. And I probably still have 7 or 8 of 10 left in the pack.
Right.
But as my go-tos, I stick with
That's
3.
it. Ryan, what about you, dog?
Probably like 14.
14 colors you throw year round.
Yeah, they all have its purpose.
Okay, well, right now.
Right now,
Yeah, it's December. Tomorrow's cloudy. What
I'm
color
only
worm you
throwing-
throw?
I'm only throwing one color right now.
And what is that?
Green pumpkin blue.
Well, I knew you like green pumpkin blue.
Green pumpkin blue zoom trick worm.
He loves a green pumpkin blue trick. And I'll be honest with you, I like it, and Ryan turned me on to that color.
Well, my green pumpkin is green pumpkin green,
See, that's funny because I put up Ron's
Nate.
comment right there, about 3 up right there.
but that's one of the
Look at
three,
this.
not the fourth.
There are about 150 different versions of green pumpkin worms.
That's true.
Yeah, there is.
Mhm.
There is, but I like the Zoom green pumpkin blue, and I like the softy, straight up green pumpkin, just straight green pumpkin,
Yeah.
and
That's
The
best
green-
worm.
green pumpkin red flake is a good one. Green pumpkin green flake, but it's a green pumpkin. You're throwing some accent colors in it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, what is the one color worm? Let me phrase this. What's the one color worm you caught a fish on that surprised you? Like, I can't believe I caught a fish on this color.
God, I'm surprised anytime I catch a fish. Tequila sunrise.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So you put it on like, I'm not gonna catch a fish on this.
Well, it's a Florida bait mostly,
Yeah.
but when I used it up here, I caught a fish on it, and I didn't think I would.
Okay. What
That's
about
the only fish I caught on it.
well, you caught a fish on it though, so it worked one time. What about you? Pink bubble gum is a good answer, Speece.
That's actually mine.
I ain't figured out.
Bubblegum Cinco.
I ain't figured
I
out
don't know. I don't know why.
I, ain't
Don't know
figured-
why.
I don't know why a fish hits a bubblegum trick worm or methylate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Methylate.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Ryan?
Don't get it.
One color, you're like, I can't believe I caught a fish on this. If you slacked up from your, pro technique up there and just decided, hey, I'm just going to throw this on. What the hell?
Which am
Like, I mean, if you step down to our level, Ryan,
Which of my 14
you and your
colors am I
14
gonna-
different worms. I've been in a boat with
Honestly.
you like 20 times. I've never seen you throw but 2 colors,
Yeah,
but you got
You'll
14.
never look at my boat.
I don't because I'm busy hitting you in the back with stuff, but
Yeah, that's
Or the GoPro.
or the GoPro. Yeah, no blue waffles, Justin. None.
No, do not Google
We're
that.
not going there.
Do not Google that.
What
people.
color did you throw? Like, I can't believe I caught a fish on this.
like on a shaky head or just
Yeah,
period?
anything.
I caught like 4 on one spot one time on watermelon red, and I never throw watermelon red. Never.
But that's not
surprised
really,
you?
but that's not really a crazy color.
I just don't throw. I mean, but like, well, for me, it's like I don't ever throw watermelon red.
Right,
I-
just because you
Like,
just
I
don't
don't
use it.
go to Fish North Georgia or Hammond's or Dugout and say, I need
That's
damn
my
watermelon
first
red worms.
Is
You
it?
know, I don't never do that. It's just,
I
it's
do
just
that.
me.
Yeah, I got you.
It's just a surprise one.
Mine is like, I remember the first time my cousin Jason, we had a couple really big farm ponds and stuff around us. Twin Lakes Trailer Park in Forsyth County, and we're fishing around the bank. He pulls out a bubblegum trick worm. And I was like, we were 15, 16 years old. I can still remember that, every detail about that. And I'm like, what in the hell is that? And he goes, no, dude, seriously, check this out. And I'm like, you ain't gonna catch anything in this lake.
Oh yeah.
7 pounders, 5 or 6 pounder later, whatever it was, like on his second cast. I was like, do it again. And he just waxed
Did it again. All right, cool.
dude, he waxed my butt that day with a bubblegum trick worm. And I'm like, why?
It don't make sense. I don't know what they see it as.
Fish are
I
like
have no
women.
idea.
They're like women. The second you think you got them figured out, you don't.
Oh, they're worse than women.
Huh?
I
don't know.
I still think if it's something that's moving and they're ready to eat, they're going to eat it. Doesn't matter what color it is.
You think so?
I do.
At least we're staying out of ditches.
We are staying out of ditches. We might talk about another type of ditch, but we won't know.
We're not about to sleep in.
No, yeah, no. I woke up in a ditch one time. I did. I had a real fun night in Forsyth County one night.
Oh boy.
Seriously, my buddies were
Oh, boy.
jerks. They were jerks. So they brought me home, and let's just say I probably needed some help to get to the house.
Yeah.
They rolled me out of the car right into the ditch in our front yard.
Nice.
So you know how I woke up? My dad had his foot on my forehead going, wake up, boy. I was in the ditch. That's how I woke up.
Nice.
So there you go. There's your ditch story. Huh? You got any of those, Kevin?
No, I don't.
I bet you
That I
do.
can't talk about.
You've been around. Listen. You've been around the block a while.
His partying was before
don't.
camera phones were a thing.
I'm clean as a whistle.
You lie like a dog. I can't believe you.
I'm
You
clean as a
lie.
whistle.
How old are you?
71.
You telling me in 71 years you ain't ever woke up in a ditch or anything like that? That you're just not going to tell it, are you?
I've never woke up in the
You
ditch.
just are not going to.
What about beside the ditch? What about beside the
The
ditch?
side of the
Yeah.
ditch.
I
Let's go down that rabbit hole, Kevin.
I
Tell
think
us about growing up in the 40s or whenever it was. Hell, I can't.
40s.
Whatever it was. I love I
only
love
two
you.
times in my life have I ever been,
That bad.
and they were at a fraternity party. So,
Okay, where'd you go to school?
Valencia Community College down in Orlando.
So that's the party school, huh?
It was.
It was.
It was that day. It was
It
that day.
was. It was. Okay, let's get back to fishing.
Kevin has no stories like, and I woke up the next morning in Disney World.
I can tell you a quick story.
There we go.
All right.
All right,
I knew we'd get one out of
Now
him.
we're talking.
Spray
What?
some wisdom on us.
When I was pledging for this, it was Pi Chi Omicron, but it became Pi Kappa Alpha
What?
Bless you.
fraternity.
Oh, he's talking Greek.
On one of the nights we went to the fraternity house, I got road trip. They took 3 of us out and dropped us off in our underwear out by Disney.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a common thing now, though. You drive down there, people in their underwear
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, we got picked up by a cop about 20 minutes later.
In your underwear.
We told, he wanted to know what the story was, and he knew one of the brothers in the
Yeah.
fraternity. He said, "Get in." So he opened the door for us, and all 3 of us got in. He drove us straight to the fraternity house, and the brothers had just gotten back, and they couldn't believe it when we pulled up in
So-
our underwear.
So 3 guys in the back of a cop car in their underwear.
In our underwear.
Tim, you're an ex-cop. Tim, you've been in law enforcement before.
These things happen.
That's what I was gonna say. Have you ever had guys in the underwear in the back of your car?
Yeah, we're worse.
That's gonna be for our after hours show.
Yeah,
You're right.
I'll tell you that story after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got caught necking with a girl in the car one time by my uncle. He was doing a ride along program with a cop that night. He had a badge and everything. Oh yeah, seriously.
I
Also
love how
called.
we're over here talking about this. Meanwhile, in the comment section, people are arguing over June bug.
Y'all can argue over June bug.
What are they arguing about June bug?
June
Who's
bug.
ain't on June bug?
I'm telling you, my story is better than June bug, but we'll go with June bug anyway.
Fish on June bug.
June bug is a good color. How about this? I know you remember. So like culprit worms and stuff like that. The
I
old
have
school.
culprit worms.
You still? How come nobody throws culprits anymore? They catch fish.
That's a big Florida worm, and they're still big down there.
Culprit's still big in Florida.
Gambler, culprit, they're still big.
I remember when culprit started coming out up here. Again, grew up farm pond fishing, largemouth line. I thought that was just the baddest worm on the market I'd ever seen. And they're built good. Like
It's
the
a slim
plastic's
worm,
good.
too.
It is slim.
They hold up well.
They hold up
Yes,
very
yeah.
well.
So
Yeah,
does the
it's-
gambler worms.
It's not a Yamamoto construction in there.
Yeah.
And the plastic in them is it's a harder kind of plastic.
They used to make gambler used to make a worm color called All American, and it was like a June bug color, and it had silver, gold, red, and blue flake in it.
Nice.
Boy, it was a good looking worm.
Okay. I'm gonna go off that comment. Good looking worm. How effective was it?
Very effective.
Okay, so it was a good looking
And
worm
I
that
don't know why
worked.
they quit making it.
Too effective.
Hey, too effective. Hey, I got a question for you, Ryan. Put the camera on you. I won't see your face. I want. No, legit question. This is not nothing bad. I'm not going to pull anything. How come 2 years ago we heard sand? Last year we heard a little bit of sand. We're talking about the color sand, whether it be jigs or worms. Last year we heard it a little bit. This year I ain't heard nothing about sand.
Probably the people who throw it don't talk about it. Or
Do
don't
you-
want nobody talking about it.
Do you throw sand?
Nah, hell no.
That was a good color here on Lanier 15, 20 years ago when I did fish here.
Well, I mean, seriously. Why are you laughing at, Ryan?
It's just sand.
But it's sand. I mean, seriously, but it's
That-
funny. Each year there's a color.
That guy come to us about 4 years ago. Some dude in freaking North Carolina. And he come to us before all this. And can you guys, I found some Zoom sand on website, on Fishing Skirt website. Can you guys make some Zoom sand jigs?
Mm-hmm.
And we said, sure. And we made them and we put them on the website. And shit, people were buying. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
We're like, but we're just like when we like get another order on Square. Like, damn, there's another order for like 2 sand jigs.
Yep.
And it was so weird.
The same as the fish. They had never seen it. They wanted.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying about earlier.
it's funny how
Put something
colors.
different in front of them.
Ian Freeman wants to know. Speaking of Florida, anybody caught a spot on a speed cuttail worm?
Yeah.
I've caught hell. I think a spot will hit anything. They're the jocks of the bass. I mean, they're like, oh, I can do it. You ever caught one on that?
Nope.
You've never? Have you ever thrown one?
Speed.
Yeah.
Speed worm. Oh yeah.
But down in Florida, but not up here.
Nope.
We was fishing.
You don't have grass up here like down there.
Mm-mm.
I fished
Not like that.
We fished a tournament one time. This was years ago, like 12, 13 years ago. We fished a tournament, and my buddy ties on a Zoom Mag Ultra Vibe speed worm on a Texas rig, and he's swimming it around like it's freaking. We're fishing grass in Florida. Like a 3/16 peg bullet weight,
And they ate it
and he
up.
caught like a 3.5 pound spot, like in 2 foot of water on that thing, and that's like. And I was kind of like, huh. Well, over the years, experimenting with the speed worm, it's actually a pretty good worm actually to throw at night around here.
Because you're swimming it.
Yeah.
Because you're moving it. That makes sense.
Puts out a lot of vibration.
Glaze, because I caught them on sand all summer, but they were all dinks. And then Neil Scoggins says Zoom sand used to be fire, but you can't get them anymore. However, Softy
makes it.
makes a sandworm. Got some upstairs. So yeah, I was just curious. Like, I mean, because we're talking about colors, we got off into the color thing of why one color is like hot one year and then just kind of disappears.
Mhm.
It just disappears. Because we're all talking about. And Ryan did Ryan give his colors?
Yeah, he gave 14.
Yeah, that's right. Ryan had the 14 colors.
I didn't name none of them. Though.
No,
He
you
didn't name
did.
them.
Well, we do know that watermelon blue is one of them, though. Yes.
Watermelon.
Or not water, green
Green
pumpkin blue.
Green pumpkin blue, yeah.
That was the only one he named.
Listen, I've been here since like 7:30. It's been a long day.
Tonight?
No, this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I showed up after you.
You just came for the chicken.
I just came for that Publix chicken, guys. I'm telling you what, if you want to support Kevin Thornton in his retirement, go buy all the Publix chicken and Publix products you can.
I like
And if you're
Publix
talking to anybody in corporate, how about getting a sponsorship for the show? I'll gladly pitch out Publix. They got the cleanest bathrooms. If there's a bathroom in the state of Georgia, like my life depended on not catching anything,
Yeah.
it's a Publix bathroom. I will say that. That's how I judge grocery stores.
That's a pretty good shout out.
Yeah.
Like
take
that?
Yeah.
So take that and cut
There's a
that.
new one coming to the Lanier.
Yes, y'all are finally. And I
Really?
think Jasper's getting one.
Thank the Lord.
Huh? I love
Finally
Publix.
another grocery store north of Dawsonville.
I love Publix. Though.
Everybody comes to Dawsonville.
Oh, y'all be running up there
Food.
where you live.
Fire and ice.
You'll be running up there where you
I
live.
remember
Probably.
that color too.
Fire and ice. That color. What's your favorite color of all time on a worm?
Ooh.
All time.
Ooh. He's trying to get him slip up.
I am. No, he already told me.
Green pumpkin green.
Green pumpkin green.
He said it, but the mic wasn't on him.
No, he said no. He did tell me. I do know Kevin's fourth color, but I will not because he brings me food and chewing tobacco. I will not tell anybody.
Feeds you. Yes, sir.
What's about? Yeah, feeds my habit
Right.
Yeah.
Favorite color worm
of all time.
of all time. The one for me that has put the most fish in the boat is a variant of green pumpkin, but it is not all green. I will say that.
So you're not gonna tell us?
Not the whole thing. No. No.
You can whisper it into the mic.
You know what the young people call that now? Gatekeeping.
Don't care.
You're a gatekeeper.
Don't care.
I did not know what that meant.
Yeah.
I saw somebody called us gatekeepers on TikTok.
Right.
I had no idea what the hell that meant. I had to look it up in Urban Dictionary. It's
Well,
keeper of secrets. You are a
the-
gatekeeper if you do not tell people
The
information
reason-
that would be good for them.
reason I'm not is because it was told to me by somebody that was told to him by somebody that found that color. And as a club, we have started doing very well on that color. And it's, yeah.
So you're a color snob.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, Ron's
I will-
favorite,
I will
Ron's
own
favorite
that.
color is grape. And that black grape was a good one too.
You know, yes. Yeah, grape's a good color. What about you, Ryan? Favorite color of all time when it comes to soft plastics? We'll go worms.
Worms.
Mm-hmm.
Green pumpkin magic.
Green pumpkin magic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What about you out there in the gallery? Yeah, wake up over there.
Somebody kick him.
Somebody kick it. Any of you? Favorite color? All time worm. I'll say it with a mic in here.
Green pumpkin
Green
will always get you something.
green pumpkin will always get you something. There you go.
Green pumpkin, but it has to be on a PVJ jig.
Green pumpkin. A worm?
No.
We're talking
You
worms.
said soft plastic.
Oh, that's true. But let's talk worm. Worm.
Worm.
I was like, damn.
That's a hell of a trailer.
Green pumpkin on a peanut butter and jelly. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I throw that worm.
Probably green. Just green pumpkin.
Green pumpkin. What about you?
Watermelon red.
Watermelon red. So all pretty much variants of green or green pumpkin.
I'll tell you one that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
caught my attention. That's done a little bit for me.
Oh, you going to give us a color this time?
Yeah, not the color, but I'll give you a color. One that I've found lately.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did y'all catch that?
This is-
I'm going to give you one that caught my attention. I'm going to give you
Yeah.
a color, but not the color. Are you
Well,
talking
no,
about the
no.
style of worm or the
No,
color?
I'm talking about the color is the one I was kind of alluding to earlier.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? The
This
style.
new one it's still a worm.
Okay, I got you.
It is a watermelon candy by NetBait. That's their T-Mac.
Okay, I got you.
I like the action. I like the color, and I've only thrown it a handful of times. So I've probably put 15 fish in the boat with it.
But it's not as good as the other color.
Not quite. Not yet.
But you're working
Not
on
yet.
it.
But I'm working on it.
So, like, if this color gets better than that color, will you tell us the other color?
If I start catching the size on this color that I did on the other color, I'll tell you the other color.
Okay.
He's a gatekeeper of worm busters.
He is a gatekeeper. I'm serious. He's a gatekeeper right there. So, got watermelon magic. Throw a meat at him. Hey, you can throw meat at anything. Again, if you want to find meat, go to Etowah Meadery. Go to their website, and you can order meat all over the country. They will ship it to you. And you tell them the guys at Fish North Georgia sent you. So they're absolutely good. Plum apple. That's an interesting color. Morning Dawn, of course. We can't talk about the Demiki rig. Dang, that's what it came from. Our TikTok on the Demiki rig. Where Jonathan goes, shoot. Did you see that? We had do that again. That's what we need to do for a contest. Like, who can do Jonathan Farmer not telling the secret? Green pumpkin, Texas red, black. There's all kinds of great. Morning Dawn and Aaron's Magic and a Robo Worm. And they have a great grape color as well for dirtier water. Green pumpkin, purple, black, June bug, Morning Dawn. Again, okay, but see, this is my point. We could take Ben Holiday, new on my favorites, Gobi Bryant.
Interesting.
Gobi Bryant.
Who makes that?
Well,
Ben?
they're definitely playing off of Kobe.
Yeah.
Green pumpkin.
Z-Man.
Z-Man
That
does.
figures,
That makes sense. Them guys come up with some. Zoom Natural. Green pumpkin blue. So, but what I'm saying is, like, if we took all the comments tonight about the colors of the worm, you pretty much will just see the same color or
Yeah.
same variant kind of a color over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But let's, a variant of green
Absolutely.
pumpkin. So let's go
That
upstairs.
narrows it down.
Go to a tackle shop.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying the same thing. You would think these companies, like, okay, if I can sell 5 to 1 green pumpkins as I can, little 5 points pink or whatever you want to call it, you would make more of the green pumpkins and stuff. But yet we've got all these colors in a tackle store. Okay, so black and blue jig is your favorite color on that,
On a jig.
on a jig. And your rock crawlers or your crankbaits,
red.
you got to have red right now.
Red and orange.
Red and orange. And you're about in the same boat other than the black and blue jig. If you're throwing a jig right now, you're not throwing black and blue.
No, if I'm throwing a jig, it's PB&J. That's almost year round for me.
That is the most interesting color in the world too.
Yeah.
It doesn't resemble anything.
No, but it works.
Clark's Hill Crawl by Zoom is good, but I think it's discontinued. Ryan, didn't you say something about Zoom discontinued some of their colors? Didn't we have that conversation one day?
Yeah, I discontinued a bunch of colors.
And that's like post-COVID, they don't make the
Yeah, I got
colors.
some Clark's Hill Crawl.
You got some of that?
I do.
Zoom canned a bunch.
Okay, how about this? Pumpkin seed. Now, I remember when pumpkin seed came out. That was like the color.
That was a mistake.
Pumpkin seed was a mistake.
Pumpkin seed was a mistake.
Now, what do you mean by that?
You'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure when the guy that I can't think of his name now for Zoom was making colors, and he made a batch of that, and it didn't come out the way he wanted to. So he gave it some fishermen to use to get rid of it, and they came back and wanted more.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Somebody will look that up.
Very interesting. I
There's
did
a
not
good
know
story
that.
behind that.
Question of the week.
Huh?
Question of the week next week. Who was that
Question
guy?
of the week. Who was that guy that messed up the Zoom
What's
stuff?
the owner of Zoom? He's been around for a long time. I
Yeah.
know he has.
Ed Chambers, he's
Yeah.
dead.
He's dead now?
Yeah, he's been dead for about 4 or 5 years. I guess.
I said
Okay.
he's been around a long time.
Well, God rest his soul. I didn't know that. I don't
Yeah.
keep up with that stuff. So
Mm-mm.
anyway, okay. So we're about an hour and 55 in, getting ready to wrap this up. So
Why the heavy PB? There you go.
what?
Why the heavy PB and J pride? Y'all throw it over green pumpkin this time of year.
Because it works.
I will.
Confidence thing.
You
It works.
It does work. It's interesting. When we've said this on past episodes, the United States is the only color that uses PB&J jig skirt material. All jig skirt material made in the world, wherever the plant is, it all comes to the United States. So I don't know why. It does work. If I were going to Lanier tomorrow, it would not be the color I'm throwing, but I know a lot of guys that throw it.
See that Trey G down there put pumpkin seed. Ed Chambers threw them away, and
They started whacking them.
yeah, they started whacking.
That is, the Georgia blade has it now, but the ultraviolet blades, those were Zooms.
Were they?
Zoom came out with ultraviolet blade, and I guess they made spinnerbaits for a while, and they quit making it, and he bought them all. That is did you know that, Tim? Mm-hmm. That came from Zoom, sure enough. So, they bought it. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, guys, all right. So listen, first of all, Kevin, thank you for feeding us for the
My
past,
pleasure.
Thank you for coming up and actually being a part of our family here and
Great
all that.
group of guys.
It is. And you know what? It's made up of guys like you.
Great group.
So it is. So we appreciate you coming up and,
Thank you for inviting me.
oh dude, you're welcome anytime. Welcome anytime. We got to have somebody in here that looks good.
I do my best.
Like if if we went out to the grocery store, you get any looks? Your wife ain't watching now.
Oh, she is.
All right, listen.
And my mother. You think I'm gonna mess up?
Your
now?
mother's watching?
Yeah.
Oh my
She's up from
goodness.
Orlando.
Well,
so-
listen, she knows you're a good looking fella. She's known you your whole life.
Oh, you ask her, she'll tell you.
Did she have I bet she will. She's
Yeah.
proud of that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? She did fine work on
It's
you.
her genes too.
She did fine work. She a good looking woman?
Yes, she is.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
She's damn right she is. You better say that.
Well, listen, he married up. I can tell you right now. No,
What
but
was
anyway,
it you said? I kicked my coverage.
you
Uh-huh.
outpunted your coverage.
Outpunted my coverage.
Yeah, but no, your wife's a sweetheart. I'm glad she's feeling better and got all her leg issues. She can drive now.
She can drive.
She
That
can drive
Achilles
now.
Takes 9 months to heal.
Ooh, she had Achilles
Achilles surgery and the heel spur.
and a heel spur at the same time.
Oh,
Like that would put me like down.
yeah.
That's
You
why
know.
I haven't been fishing so much.
But it's about time for you to get back on the water.
January 6th.
Look, he got it
That's
down.
why he's got
Like
the
he's got the
countdown.
countdown going on in his watch. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming up tonight and all you do for us and your support and everything. So
Thank you.
absolutely. And James, I know
Yes, sir.
I know it's past your bedtime,
Way past. Yeah.
and I appreciate you making the effort to come up
That's
here
my
tonight.
pleasure. I appreciate the invite.
And it's always a joy. I know on Wednesdays, generally Wednesday about 1 or 2 o'clock. Most Wednesdays you come in the store. So
Yeah,
it's
don't tell my boss.
well, okay. If James Boss is watching, I'm a liar. I didn't mean any of that. But again, we
No,
appreciate
I'm
you
just
coming up.
I'm just kidding.
You guys in the gallery, thank you very much. Ryan, of course, for doing the great job you're doing behind the board. I'm glad. I know you're tired too. So anyway, and all you guys watching in the comment section, listen, I'm being very serious. This show would not be possible without you guys. And you are the guys that really actually drive it. And that's the cool thing about this show is that we can come in here with the best intentions of a topic. But the reality is once you guys start typing, that's where we go. So really this show is yours. So we appreciate you guys making it possible. And I know we got Christmas this weekend. So I would definitely want to, from the F&G family to your family, want to say Merry Christmas and definitely enjoy it with your family. Take some time and deal with what is actually important this weekend, and that's your family and the meaning of Christmas and what it's all about. So Terry Thornton, Oh, there's Miss Terry. You got a Miss Terry like Saban.
I told you.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna start calling you now, Miss Terry, just like Saban. But anyway, guys, hey, listen, and Miss Terry, we love you, and thank you for allowing your husband to come play with us. Y'all are good people, and this world is definitely lacking in people like you guys. We need more of you like that. So, again, guys, hey, listen, enjoy your weekend. If you're out on the water, be safe, but take some time this weekend and enjoy your family and all the people that you love, and because I do have some law enforcement people in the world. You know, there's a lot of people who's got to work on Christmas. The people out there, you got your cops and your nurses and, you know, your EMTs and all those out there, and your military, of course. Take a second just to consider them this weekend, because they might be at work. They're not going to be at home with their families, and they're doing that so that you can do that. You can be with your families, and that we can do stuff like this. Get here and just talk fishing for 2 hours. We live in a great country, but we need more people like the Thorntons and James and you guys. Just we'll build this community up, and, you know, hopefully we'll straighten this world out one of these days. I think. What do you think? Sound good?
I'm working towards
No, you're working towards it. So don't forget your Publix chicken. We want to thank all our fine sponsors: Opson,
Merry Christmas,
Charlie
guys.
Adams, that's right, Trent Palmer, Sonar Pros, Festive Water Paddle Sports, Turner Tire, and of course, Etowah Beer, Mead, and Wine. So you guys go support your local things. We love you guys. We will see you next Thursday, y'all.